Hey, it's podcast time on the worst year of our lives, and this definitely isn't the second take because 20 seconds into the first one, I completely lost my train of thought and had a panic attack. Drew, how are you?
Good thing this one's also not very good either.
No, this is a winner.
Hey, if this is the end result that you want to give to everyone,
I'm sorry, the end result.
Yeah. If this is the beep result that you want to give,
what would you consider the end result? Probably that 12-year-old football player that
I heard
that one that like you under 12 Division 1 that has tattoos and 4 kids. That guy's awesome.
Oh,
And a full beard. What are they putting in the milk?
I heard a really funny joke, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but I think I got it.
I like jokes.
What's the difference between Usain Bolt and Hitler?
Kanye thinks they're both chill.
He thinks there's good things about both of them. Yeah, maybe that's not the right joke, but it's Usain Bolt knows how to finish a race.
I wonder if that gets us in trouble in the
No,
first
there was
minute.
stuff in the middle. It's fine.
You know what?
You broke up the joke with your little comment and your little laughy laugh, and
That's true.
do you want to risk it or no? Should I not tell Usain Bolt Hitler crossover jokes on this podcast
Do we
anymore?
risk-
Because if that's the podcast that we're doing from now on, I don't want any goddamn part of it.
Hashtag not my podcast. Do we risk it for the biscuit, ladies and gentlemen? I think we do.
I got a limp one.
I want second
8 inches limp, baby.
first on pod, but second overall Limp Bizkit mention of the day.
Correct.
We had a little.
And if you think that's the last one,
Oh,
you're wrong.
you're out of your mind. Yeah, we had a little chocolate starfish talk earlier. So chocolate starfish butthole, hot dog flavored water?
Semen.
No, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
It's talking about putting his penis in a butt.
I get that.
And then the hot dog water is,
I thought it was anal leakage,
but what else?
like when you eat too many Olestra chips. Is that a current reference?
Or when we had the diarrhea soda that only affected Dan.
Yeah, that was fun too. Take your medicine
Yeah, I'm gonna.
right now. On air medicine. Drew's the first male in history to have contracted long COVID.
I'm also the first straight man to have contracted monkeypox.
It's Mpox now
Sorry.
because we wanted to be sensitive. That's also why
To the monkeys?
I guess.
Hey, we're the monkeys. Don't say
Yeah.
we got pox.
Not a lot of people know that it's Monkee Fox. Sorry, Davy Jones.
Today I'll be sampling a nice, creamy, smooth Vicks DayQuil Complete Cold and Flu Liquid with acetaminophen and other ingredients.
That's just what's on the label.
Yeah.
Other ingredients.
It's for cough, nasal congestion, thins and loosens mucus,
Being a bitch.
fever and sore throat, and
Inexplicably having a Y chromosome and long COVID.
may cause explosive diarrhea. So
Sure,
I'm gonna drink-
it's fine. Well, I mean, it's going to be a short podcast today, so.
shout out to former friend of me and not the show, Yaroslav Liz, my Polish friend that I used to work with.
Nice.
Who, when he got really sick, would go next door to the Shoppers Drug Mart, local reference,
Mm-hmm.
and buy a 345 milliliter bottle of DayQuil.
What's that, about 12 ounces?
Yep. And he would go buy a Turbo, which is a brand of energy drink that no longer exists.
Yep.
I will be supplementing that.
What was that one, about 16 ounces?
I will be replacing this with a 473 milliliter Beaver Buzz Energy Blackcurrant. The
Sounds like
best
16
one.
ounces to me. I mean, straight up citrus is pretty great.
I
too.
mean, they're both really good, but this one's the best one for me.
Okay.
I will be chugging about half the bottle of the DayQuil. Then I will be shotgunning this
my
entire
God.
energy drink. And by hour 4 of this podcast, I will feel like $1 million.
You will be able to fly.
Well, here we go. Bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to do this.
I'm excited for you. Have you? I guess I don't want to ask you a question. Oh, that was a decent swig of the bottle. That's a legitimate quarter, if not third, and slamming That beaver buzz. Made with real cane sugar. None of this glucose, fructose bullshit.
You gotta get them to work together.
Are they?
You mix them in the gullet. By the time they get to your tum tum, they're all together.
Your face is telling me that they are not yet working together.
I was trying not to burp into the microphone.
Okay, because there was a pain on your face.
Shotgunning energy drinks is never a good idea. So I was trying to keep it in, but I couldn't do it anymore.
That's fair.
And you know what? I already feel better.
You're good taste wise that the black currant has taken over for the poison?
Oh, I'm getting an international call from China.
Sick. Put it on the pod.
From Shenzhen.
Put it on the pod.
No, I'm not answering an international call from China.
Put it on the pod.
No, I don't want to.
Why not?
Because I don't want them to know I'm a real person.
No, then we can speak Chinese to them.
Okay, speak Chinese right now.
Wang Shao.
You got it. You nailed it. You know what? You put me to shame. You made me look stupid on the podcast. Congratulations, Scott.
Ironically, that's what gets us demonetized, not the Hitler joke.
I genuinely kind of like Dayquil. I don't like NyQuil, although NyQuil does help, but I genuinely kind of like Dayquil.
I haven't had either in a very long. I don't want
to sample.
I don't want to pull on that one. But thanks for the offer. I appreciate it. So you good now? Have you kicked COVID? Finally,
I feel a little bit better.
That you caught in what? July?
Yeah.
August in there. It's okay. I'm sure
it's
you're
been resting in my subcockles.
I'm sure you're on the back of it. What this in theory isn't a COVID thing, right? You had like the whatever flu going around a month ago?
Yeah. Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it just has been coming and going.
Lingering.
It just won't go away.
Yeah. Now did you
Did I get a voicemail from the Chinese International Lumber? I did.
Well, let's at least hear that.
Well, you keep talking. I'm going to listen to it. It's even worth it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you ran over a gypsy's mother, which is why you have this current ailment.
Well, I'm not getting a thinner situation, so.
That's abundantly clear. To hear your message, press swastika. Drew's got a special phone. Nothing? Or screaming in Chinese?
No, there's a couple different messages, so it was silence.
Sad.
But now, well, there we go.
Is this the one?
Message deleted. Thank you. That's not the number that it called me. So that must be another silence. I don't know if
you just have a bunch of spam voicemails?
Okay. Bye.
So many numbers. Sent by a 27-digit phone number.
So
Number one, I like the music. Number two, who's it for?
I think
even people who speak the language, who's that for?
I don't know. I don't know if everybody that is listening that doesn't live in Canada, because I think it's, from what I remember hearing, it's very prominent in Canada. Obviously, because we have a high immigration of people legally or illegally into this country from mainland China.
Not once I get a handle on things.
But like we here get tons of spam phone calls and messages that are strictly in Mandarin.
Yes.
PS Cantonese doesn't exist anymore.
Are we done with it?
It's over. It had its time. It's shown and it's gone.
It hasn't been called Canton in, 700 years?
Yeah, something like that.
So we might as well get rid of Cantonese.
Yeah. Well, also because China doesn't want anybody speaking it.
And they don't have their own oranges, so another point for Mandarin.
You're not a big fan of Cantonese oranges? Canton really has to get their own product.
What?
How about a sweet lemon?
Well, I would love a sweet lemon. Can we do that?
We sell sweet lemons at work.
Well,
They're called Myers lemons. They're a combination of lemon and mandarin.
They're
crossbred. And there's also sweet limes as well. But you don't use them as limes. You kind of eat them like regular fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I like most citrus. I'm a fan of all of those things. I can eat a fucking regular lime. I love a lime.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like lime too. Man. I hope that Dayquil doesn't give me explosive diarrhea later.
Well, most things do. I don't know why this wouldn't, but I love your optimism.
You know.
I think it was on the first take, but I think we did the same thing. We said the name of the show, but withheld our names.
Yeah. Well, except for you said my name, but you didn't say my Twitter handle.
That's true. I think we teased that for the end of the show.
Correct.
Yeah.
The end of the second half
end of part 2
of this show.
Yeah. Which is just around the corner.
Yeah. Only a short 45 minutes from now.
We have so little to do between now and the end of the show.
Yeah.
It'll be over in a GIF.
Jiffy pop.
GIF?
Jiffy.
It'll be over in a GIF.
Be over in a GIF.
GIFs are short.
Gifts. I got a gift for you.
Oh.
It's right here.
Put that away.
And then I grab my penis.
If you're a member of the YouTube channel, if you're subscribing for money at the $10 or higher level, if I do this right, which I sort of did right last week, you'll be hearing this before everyone else. So you're welcome. It's ideally we want to do these, record these a day earlier, because I want to get them up Thursday, Friday, but we're recording on Thursday, so it's going to be Friday, Saturday. But as soon as this is uploaded Thursday night-ish, I'll make it.
Wow. Look at you. Look at you. You didn't even chug a quarter of a Dayquil.
I didn't. That was without turbo quilling. I'll make it available right away for member level thick hog and higher. So if you want to get in on that shit, and I got to figure out some more perks as well. People seem to like custom emojis, so we'll figure that out, I guess. Although I feel like that's more for like live chats, and we're not currently live streaming, but who knows what the future may hold if enough people subscribe, because that actually seems to me like a pretty good member perk. But yeah, so get on that. So go to the YouTube channel if you're not already on it listening to this, youtube.com/@notscotthenson, and click the join button, and then choose a membership level, ideally $10 or higher if you want to hear this early, and get sent special kisses from me and Drew. And then you can do it. I structured that sentence wrong. I front loaded that sentence and then didn't have anywhere to go. But yeah, click the join button and subscribe at whatever level is comfortable for you financially. Although even if it's uncomfortable, I suggest the big one, because that's who gets the real love around here. But since I'm talking about it, I might as well give real ass shout outs to current members who are subscribing on the YouTube channel. And if I click that, they'll just show up. Yep. Hey. After a brief delay. So big shouts to MG, noted non-creep, Brandon H, Nick S, Caraxa Collins, Zachary K, Tommy, Eve, and new since last week members, Brian Palmer and Jimbo Jones, aka Zimbo Venus. Double shouts out to both members, in fact, Caraxa Collins and Eve, who both made us lovely art for our match last week.
Hey, Scott, I can't help but notice that you have a full beard.
Of course, well, that would have happened regardless, because there's no way we're losing. But it was funny because we recorded Wednesday
last week. And our match was Friday.
And after we recorded, I'm like, oh, we didn't hype our big hair versus fur match for Friday. And in hindsight, good.
Yep.
It's really good that we didn't, because it didn't fucking happen.
Because our opponents are cowards.
Our opponents, look, I don't like to toss around the word coward, but our opponents are cowards. We Yeah, we recorded on Wednesday and then were informed Thursday night. Yes. Yeah.
I guess it was Thursday.
We're informed Thursday night that both of our opponents had COVID, and also
had COVID earlier in the week.
Yeah, and like one was testing negative, and neither really had symptoms.
Yeah,
which. I don't like. Look, I am never going to fault someone for erring on the side of being responsible, but also I would have just done the match.
I am.
I would have just
Don't be a fucking coward.
I would have just fucking done it, but yeah. So so we're told that Thursday night, and we're like, fuck. But they said, hey, there's we can get another team and basically do the same thing, and we're like, okay, like we like those guys. It's not the match we built, obviously, and not the match that Caraxa made an awesome piece of art for, which is currently Drew's profile picture.
Nope. On Telegram.
On Telegram.
Which is not for you people.
Which is not for you. And Eve made a fantastic live in-person sign for. But hey, we can still sort of get done what we were going to do. And then Friday, the day of the show,
after we had already left and started driving down.
Yes, after we were already en route to the show. We're informed that the replacement team, I guess...
No, it wasn't until we saw one of the members of the replacement
team. Oh, yeah,
team,
that's right.
And we said, see you in a couple hours. And he said,
no,
nope, you won't.
That's right. Yeah, so yeah, we happen to be storing our merch at one of our potential opponents' houses.
Oh, way to break kayfabe, Scott.
Well, what? Oh, because we shouldn't be friends with
Shouldn't be friends
them?
with guys who are wrestling.
I suppose you're right. And I said, oh, yeah, so see you down there in a little while. He's like, oh, no, we can't do it. I'm like, oh, then what the fuck are we doing? So, so then the rest of the trip down was sort of a nightmare, just continually going back and forth with them, like, hey, what if we do this? No. What if we do this? No. And them just suggesting, like, hey, just do a quick match with some trainees or whatever, because that's about
children.
For children, because that's about all that's available. But then one was kind of insisting that, like, we end up getting our hair and beard cut because the fans paid to see someone get their hair and beard cut that day, and we're like, there's no fucking way we're letting 4 like random trainees who we're not going to have like a future feud with do this. I'm sitting on 2 years of beard here, and if I'm going to cut it, which P.S. I'm not, then make it fucking worth my, and more importantly, the audience's while than what you're proposing, because that's an incredible waste.
Yeah. Doing it because you promised to do it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yes.
Nobody's going to show up to the show, find out that, oh, this hair versus fur match isn't happening, and go,
I'm leaving.
Fuck you, I'm out of here.
Give me a refund, I'm leaving. No, you're still getting a good wrestling show.
You still sold the same amount of tickets.
Exactly. And fans, especially in a post-COVID era, I think fans understand that shit gets fucked sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the first time someone has missed a show, even in like a prominent match due to COVID. Also,
literally on the same show, 2 separate people had to pull out the week of the show.
One of whom was in the world title match. So this shit happens and is to be expected that it happens. So with all of the back and forth and the options getting like less and less enticing, and I don't know, Drew already having had a week, was at that point not even that psyched about going to the show, which I very much understand.
And also the fact, let's put it bluntly, I'm not going to name names, but somebody who's in charge has significantly less experience in the ring, in the business, booking shows, booking a company, and is trying to tell us what works.
Yes, and would you say that's not the main person in charge, but the second person in charge?
Well, somebody who's in charge of... was trying to be in charge of what was happening.
I only say that because the main person in charge sometimes listens to this.
Yeah, but he knows we're not talking about him.
I think he should know we're not talking about him.
But he knows we're not talking about him.
Yeah. So then we're like, we were sort of halfway to the show, so still a ways to go, and like the second half is the shittier part of the trip anyway. We're like, we can just send in a video and do the match next month. And they're like, one, we need you here for, in hindsight, I don't...
Which wasn't even true. But
really know why. And two, we can't just push it to January because they already had match plans for both us and the Academy, the original guys who were supposed to wrestle, the COVID guys. They both have separate plans for us already for January, and they didn't want to push all of that booking back another month. So like do December and January, do January and February, etc. I don't know. It would have been nice to just do it in January.
Yep.
But so we went there, we did our thing with the trainees. No fur was shed and never will be. We sort of figured out booking for January and February, and then after that we'll sort of loop back to the Academy at some point, because it seems weird to build up a big thing with them and never even have a match afterwards, because that's where it stands right now. Like,
what if Vince McMahon's in charge? That makes sense.
Well, Vince McMahon's in charge, absolutely. And hey, he's looking for something to do. Oh. So maybe he'll find his way to SOS Pro Wrestling in Tacoma, Washington. But yeah, so that's where all of that is. So fur's intact. So fear not anyone who is worried for us. And we. Spoiler, do not have a hair versus fur match in January or February, or probably ever. So there you go. We do have a kind of big match in February. However, February Plaza from Parks and Rec. Mm-hmm. You know her. Yeah, so there's a team from St. Louis, sort of the South and sort of not. Missouri's a weird place. And one of whom we've been friends with for years, and one of whom we've never met.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had to think about it, but yeah. Yeah, the besties in the world, they're known as. We're having a match with them February 10th in SOS. And Pepper Coyote, the... composer, singer-songwriter of our entrance music, as well as the Brian and Vinny show theme on Wrestling Observer, is flying himself in to do our music live. And unclear, I guess, depending on timing, will either be the music he's already done, the one that was originally just for me as a singles, but we're also using as a tag theme, or if he'll be debuting a new tag team theme for us. So either way, it should be cool to have someone sing us to the ring live. So
in full suit.
I don't know if he has a suit.
Get a suit.
I wonder.
Get a suit.
He must have something, certainly. I mean, is a card carrying fur.
Yeah.
I've seen the card.
Although
it's embossed.
Coyote.
And a red one too.
Yeah.
Whole thing's a mess, but I don't hold that against him.
A Soviet coyote.
Rather be dead than red. So that should be cool. So anyone in the area-ish, if you want to mark Friday, February 10th on your calendar, go ahead and do that. What else is going on? I'll hit it harder and earlier in part 2, but we're still taking requests against everyone's better judgment. we're taking all comers and especially late comers. $50 a pop per movie request to paypal.me/NotScottHenson. You were stupid. You forgot. You just got money now. Whatever the situation is, you were born yesterday. Send your request in now with a minimum of $50 US to paypal.me/NotScottHenson. What else is going on? We did the request. We did the subscriptions. I'm on Cameo, guys. Did you know that? You should. I've told you about it. Cameo.com/Scoot. It's Christmas present time. Get me to say something to someone you like or don't like. It's a good present. Don't fuck this up. Cameo.com/Scoot. Done. Oh, and so Manscaped. I'm not doing a full read for it today because I don't think we're technically getting paid for it. As we said last week, right? That we hit the number last week, and they're signing us for 3 months. They wanted to sign us January through March. I said, can you do it mid-December through mid-March so we can get Christmas sales in? Because I think a lot of people would buy then. They said, yes, we can do that, but pay you like it's January to March. And we're like, sure, whatever. We'll get paid 2 weeks later. Who cares? So they said, yes, and that's the last I've heard. So I haven't been sent the contract yet. So it's not in effect yet. I'm going to assume that codes used now will count toward us, because the deal is at the end of the 3 months, they see like what their return on investment is, basically. So yeah, so going forward, it's not number of codes used anymore. Now it's money spent with the code.
Yeah.
So buy a lot when it comes up. So yeah, so not doing a read, but telling you if you need to get something through Manscaped this week, get it. Promo code CATS20, as always, CATS20. I'm hoping it will count towards the new contract. I assume it will. It'd be weird if there's just this like 1 or 2 week limbo in between. But if you can wait a week, great, do that. But like if you're getting something for Christmas or whatever, and you need to do it now, do it now. Manscaped.com, promo code CATS20. But if you're really just ordering to support us, then wait a week. I imagine everything will be in place by the time you hear our melodic tones next week. So that's the deal on that. I think we can. We got candy and news. Lots going on. Yep. And just a mere 11 movies to review. Feeling good?
Nope. I never feel good.
Even with Turbo Quill?
I mean, I feel better than before the Turbo Quill.
Okay. That's something, right?
I had some hot honey Pringles too. That helped a little bit.
Are those Walmart exclusive?
Walmart exclusive hot honey Pringles.
I ate 3/4 of the canister
in one bite
on DP last week.
Nice.
I just get like mute crunch. But the other guy that was on was very excited. He's like, "What flavor is that?" I'm like, "Oh, funny you should ask. It's a Walmart exclusive hot honey."
Yep.
And he's like, I know what I'm doing after this show's over.
Right to Walmart.
If you'll recall last week, this is a brief news note, and get the layers of this. Correction on what I was going to say last week but didn't.
Okay.
If you'll recall, I got like a brain freeze when Little St. James was mentioned because I had a news item on it.
Yeah.
That I said we don't have time to get into it. I'll get into it next week. So I'm getting into it now. But the news item I had was wrong.
Oh.
So we were talking, as always, about
Bustin'.
About Bustin' and our future purchase of Little St. James. And of course, if you want to help us with that, either do movie request for $50 or more to paypal.me/NotScottHenson, or if you don't care, just fucking send money to paypal.me/NotScottHenson and help us buy this fucking pedophile island and turn it into a family-friendly amusement park. and so we can explore the catacombs.
I need to bust.
And yeah, we got to get all the ghosts off.
Yeah, I got to bust.
So I thought I had read that the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands had bought them as government property for $105 million. Not the case. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein settled with the Virgin Islands over the sex trafficking case for $105 million plus half the proceeds of the sale of Little St. James. But Little St. James, still on the market, baby.
But
you look so confused.
Well, how does
the estate gave the Virgin Islands a bunch of money?
How and why does the estate have to? He's fucking dead. Who has the money?
The lawyers.
But why do the lawyers get the money?
Well,
shouldn't the money just disappear into nothing?
No, he had billions of dollars.
But he's dead.
You realize that money doesn't disappear when you die,
but
right?
He has no family. He has no children.
Yeah.
So when you die, it just disappears.
That's not how it fucking works. No.
Disappears, and then that money
They're
no longer
executors
exists.
of the estate, and they are the ones that control it.
But do you really want sex money?
Drew, I would love some sex money. Are you offering me sex money?
I'm offering you sex money.
Done.
I'm offering you Jeffrey Epstein's sex money.
Great.
Yeah. Now use his sex money to buy Little St.
Exactly,
James.
And not just
Full circle.
Give to the U.S. Virgin Islands for being sorry for sex trafficking.
But why do you owe the U.S. Virgin Islands anything? You didn't harm them. In fact, you probably indirectly gave them money because you had to get stuff sent to the island.
True.
Right?
He brought in tons of business.
Yeah. So, if anything,
Bill Clinton,
the U.S. Virgin Islands owes the estate of Jeffrey Epstein money.
Bill Clinton would have gone to the U.S. Virgin Islands 26 less times if not for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
I agree. The key points of the article are the estate and related entities of Jeffrey Epstein agreed to pay the U.S. Virgin Islands more than $105 million as part of a settlement in a sex trafficking and child exploitation case, the territory's attorney general said. The settlement also requires the defendants to pay the Virgin Islands half the proceeds from the sale of the Epstein-owned island of Little St. James, the Virgin Islands Department of Justice said. The Virgin Islands will also recoup more than $80 million in tax benefits that Epstein and others fraudulently obtained to fuel his criminal enterprise, the agency said.
Isn't it kind of cute that they're called the U.S. Virgin Islands?
When anything but was happening on those very islands. There was not a virgin to be seen.
No.
Come nightfall.
There's a lot of coming.
More like the U.S. having sex islands.
Oh my god.
I'm writing it down. I like that. Perfect. And we have a description for the podcast. No, it's Cantonese oranges, obviously. Yeah, so that was that. So very glad to know that LSJ is still very much on the market. I assume the prices are the same because it did come down because it was you
had to buy both islands.
It was both for $125.
Yes.
And now it's $55 each.
Yeah.
And we got no time for BSJ.
Well, why would we?
There's
no ghosts.
No ghosts. Yeah, so we just need the $55 million.
I only go to islands where I can bust ghosts, Scott.
Of course.
I don't go to regular islands.
Obviously. And then $27.5 million of that apparently is just going straight back to the USVI.
But why? They don't owe them shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did he destroy their infrastructure by having children have sex with high-ranking political people on an island like 300 meters off land? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm
also 300 meters is not. I'm sick. My brain's
a 2-minute jog. You say
2-minute jog off the island.
Yeah, it might be
waist deep water to get from island to island in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. No, your grasp of geography is strong as ever. All right, cover that. That one is definitely one for next week, or maybe its entire own episode. What did you have? You had.
Would you like to talk about a former police officer accused of killing 15-year-old's family who was pretending to be a teen online?
Love to. Suspect killed in shootout after police say he catfished California girl and killed her family. This comes to you via Yahoo Sports, via USA Today.
Well, who else is supposed to carry it? CNN?
No, it's fake news.
Fake news. So Riverside police say that they determined that the suspect, 28-year-old Austin Lee Edwards,
3 names, probably a serial killer,
met the girl online through catfishing. And I like that this one's from ABC News.
Yeah.
Where they have to explain what catfishing is. Catfishing, where someone pretends to be a different person than they actually are. Wait, way to go into great detail about what catfishing is.
Now I get it.
Police believe he was pretending to be a teenager, according to Riverside Police. After Edwards developed a relationship with the girl online, police said that they believe he drove from Virginia to California, parked in a neighbor's driveway, went to the girl's home, killed her family. He then allegedly took the teen and drove away, according to the police. The girl has since been rescued. The murders were discovered on Friday after authorities received a phone call from a girl, a phone call reporting a girl who appeared distressed while getting into a car with a man. As officers responded to the report, they received calls of a fire at a nearby house. Police said 3 family members were found dead in the house from apparent homicides. 69-year-old Mark Winnick, his wife, 65-year-old Cherie Winnick, and their daughter, 38-year-old Brooke Winnick. The Winnicks were loved people who don't deserve this, the family said in a statement.
It's probably fair.
The fire appeared to have been intentionally set, adding that the cause of death were still pending. Authorities said that the teen lived at the house and the victims killed were her mother and her grandparents. Several hours
Where's your dad?
You know, around. He was fishing. Real catfish.
Oh, grabbling.
Noodling.
All right.
Several hours after 3 bodies were found, authorities said they stopped Edwards driving with a teen. Edwards, who had worked for the Virginia State Police, allegedly led deputies on a chase and fired shots at them.
Nice.
The
only good kind of violence.
Yeah.
Cop on cop.
Edwards lost control of his car and drove off the road, pointing a gun at a sheriff's helicopter.
Nice. He was going for 5 stars on
GTA. You gotta get that rocket launcher to blow that helicopter out of the air.
It's so satisfying.
It's really satisfying.
It feels great.
There's a couple of places in like GTA 5 where if you can get up to them, it's almost impossible for the helicopters to shoot you. And you can just stand there just blowing up cop cars, helicopters, killing civilians. It's fucking great. Deputies then fired at Edwards, who was declared dead at the scene. Sheriff's office said. The girl was rescued and wasn't hurt. Edwards was hired in Virginia State Police in July 2021 and quit in October 2022.
It was a good run.
He passed the state's background check.
Hey. Probably wouldn't now.
Yeah, maybe not.
It was short-lived.
Past employers and the Virginia State Police were contacted during the hiring process. However, no employers disclosed any troubles, reprimands, or internal investigations pertaining to Edwards.
Yeah, he seems chill.
AKA, he was a really chill, cool guy.
But here's the issue as I see it. Did not a single hiring person, I'm talking either the state police, was it?
State police, yeah.
Either the state police or anyone who's ever hired him before that. Did nobody look at a picture of him?
Nope. Guess not.
Because he looks like a fucking creep.
He looks like a fucking creep. He looks like a guy who would catfish a 15-year-old, kidnap
and
her,
kill her family,
murder her mom and her grandparents, and then drive away and shooting police. If you ask me what that guy would do, that's the number one choice I would say.
Yeah, or just tell you what happened and then draw the guy just based on the incident, and you would draw this guy. Just a terrible hairline, weak chin, and then this one got me thinking, like, we need to look stronger into eugenics to stop making guys like this. Is
it wrong for me to say that he looks a little downsy?
He does look a little downsy.
Just a little bit.
You know what also fixes that?
Eugenics.
Like, guys, look, I don't know how popular an opinion this is, but we need to breed better. We're, as a whole...
What if we just don't breed?
As a human race, we are doing bad. Yeah, and also, I would absolutely advocate not breeding, period, over the current way we are breeding.
Yes.
I'd like knock it off for a while. Like you're doing about like regroup and then stop making Austin Lee Edwards. Is that too much to ask?
No.
Am I being unreasonable?
You're asking a lot. You are asking a lot.
Like, I don't know. So, a follow-up question, sort of. So when he went there,
yeah,
he killed the family immediately. So like that was his plan. It wasn't he didn't go to meet the girl and things went south.
Yeah, like the parents saw him, they're like, whoa. You're
not 15.
You look like a Downsy 30-year-old.
Yeah, you're a Downsy 30-year-old in a police uniform.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the first thing he did when he got there, which is an interesting plan, I would say.
Yeah.
Because there's not, like, when you go to meet
a teenage girl that you've met online?
Your catfishy.
Yeah.
Your 15-year-old catfishy for the first time.
Yeah.
And just...
Are you saying this from experience?
15-year-old? No. Conclusively, no.
You answer that very quickly.
Yep. And you just, off the bat, blow away her mother and grandparents. Yeah. There aren't, like, a lot of ways to go from there. Like, I don't know, even if during your catfish talks, if she was like, oh, my family's such a drag, like, I don't know how much on your side she's going to be when you kill everyone in the house she's living in.
Yeah. Probably not the best way to convince her to be in love with you and run away and get married and have sex with a child. Probably could have gone a lot better for you.
Yeah. Second follow-up question. If the 15-year-old girl had a present father and a strong male role model in her life, would she have been fucking around with a 28-year-old catfish in Virginia?
Hear me out. If the girl and or family were black, would we be talking about this?
Well,
if MTV's Catfish has taught me anything...
You've got me there. You've stymied me.
Yeah. Or how about if he had catfished a 15-year-old boy?
Oh. Yeah. All good questions.
Big difference. If Max and Neve have taught me anything, not Cammy, because she bleached her skin and that's bullshit.
It's true. After speaking out against bleaching your skin, which is a funny move.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Is that if you're gay and black on Catfish, then you're completely mentally insane.
Yeah, that has been a trend. Yeah. Certainly.
A lot of mentally unstable gay black men.
Yeah, just like, and not even a little bit.
Nope.
Like fully out of their minds.
Fully out of their minds.
Yeah, I like that. I like that those people are out there. But we could also stop those people from being out there through eugenics.
Yes.
I think we have a running theme of the podcast today. This is science talk.
This is science talk.
Yeah.
I'm matter.
Yeah.
It's a Sinbad reference from an old Bill Nye episode.
Sinbad and Bill Nye, you say?
Yeah.
British actor Bill Nighy?
Bill Nye, yeah.
The science guy?
The Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Davy Jones from the Monkees. Yeah. Bill Nighy as Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Ooh. It's a stretch, but I'll let him try it.
Okay.
He's a good actor.
He's good.
He's an underworld.
He is an underworld.
Which I recently commentated.
Well, there you go.
We're actually sitting on a bunch of commentaries, so those waiting for Adam and Pal's commentaries, I want to say there's 5 we've done that haven't been released yet.
Congo.
And please, yeah. Congo hasn't come out yet. No.
Congo, Underworld. You told me a third one, but I can't
Underworld, remember. A weird small one that Adam had to do like an extra deep dive on because it was part of some like massively failed, not even streaming, but like just internet watching site. Fuck, what else was there? There's a good chunk. There was Congo, there was because he won't tell us the movies before we do them because he wants our reaction when they start, because there was one labeled movie C, and one labeled movie D. C was Congo, D was...
Just gay porn. Dick. All over it.
It was gay porn. Oh, the one day we did Underworld and Monkey Bone.
Right, Monkey Bone was the other one you said. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did Congo and something. I don't think either of those out. We live streamed Pinocchio, and I don't think anything's been done with that. Or maybe it has. I don't know. But yeah, there's a bunch, and they're all pretty good because I'm hilarious, and there's also 2 other guys there.
And you like to try and get away with whatever you can say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had to re-record a little chunk of Congo. Yeah. That was. I think we had to re-record it because my joke made Adam sound like the bad guy, and I don't think he
appreciated that.
Liked that.
Yeah.
So we.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, believe me, I don't blame him, but. So it was funny.
Nothing like being on your own stream and having your like co-hosty person make you look like a monster.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually, because it was something about because like the who's the like the friendly gorilla in Amy.
Yeah.
Something with Amy came up, and then Adam, and they were already in. The characters were already in Africa, so you like Ernie Hudson was hanging out, and Delroy Lindo was in the mix. No, he was because I sang Delroy Lindo to the tune of "Where's Your Head At?" It was definitely Delroy Lindo. So those guys were hanging out, and then Adam made a reference to the chimpanzee in Nope. Yeah. And then I said something to the effect of, I don't think you should call them that.
Yeah.
And
even though that's the exact same joke you made on my litter box when I said, don't look up the chimpanzee source material. And you said, I don't think you should say that about the movie.
I did say.
Get a new joke, Scott. Get a new joke.
It was basically that joke. And
P.S. Look up the woman getting her face ripped off by a chimpanzee. It's pretty fucked up.
Was it the first face transplant?
It was the first straight face transplant, and do not look at the pictures of after.
It didn't. I mean,
it did not work out.
They tried.
Yeah, they did their best.
It's tough when you get your whole face ripped off.
Yeah.
You
How do you reconstruct a nose?
Yeah, you get what you get and you don't get upset. But you can also get upset. I'd be upset.
I would be very upset.
It was bad.
Reconstruct a nose, some fingers.
Yeah.
Just turn a thumb into a clitoris.
I don't know if that's what they did. But if they did,
good for them.
Good for science.
Good for science.
A big day.
This is the science episode.
This is the science episode. It's a big day for science. Do Creep of the Week in part 2?
Yep.
Is that all
that
the
was
stuff?
The plan. Now we can do some movies. How long into the episode are we? Like 30 minutes.
48.
Probably hurry up and do some movies.
Oh, and we still have candy too. Oh no. Oh no, Drew.
Well, the Jojo Vexta.
When do we do candy? Do we do it in part 2? You're just gonna make a bunch of plasticky noise. How do you want to handle this?
I don't fucking care.
Make a call.
Let's just do some movies quick.
Okay, let's do some movies quick. Hey,
let's give some people some content, and then don't ever say that we never. Give
all we
content.
do is give these people content.
Some content.
All we do, we give content, and we give content, and we give content, and what do we get? I guess money sometimes, and specifically money for this content. But still, more. I would say more.
More or less.
I think we should start strong.
Yeah.
Let's
make everyone happy.
With award-nominated actor Tim Roth. I don't want to. Has he been nominated for an Oscar? Does that seem like a thing?
I'll look right now.
That would happen?
Yep. Nominated for 1 Oscar for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for 1995's Rob Roy.
For Rob Roy, it would have been a while before it took me to get to there.
He was nominated for an Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror 2001 for Planet of the Apes.
Huh.
That's pretty funny.
I don't think you should call them that.
He was also... I mean, he's nominated for a lot of things.
Other shit. You ever get nominated for... you ever get an Emmy nom for... What was that? Lie to Me? That was a show he was on?
He did not. He was
your best
nominated for an Empire Award.
That's not an award.
For Best British Actor for Planet of the Apes 2001.
Weak year in British film.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was there only one?
Was there one movie in 2001? I guess 9/11 stopped all the movies.
Yeah, well,
and we just got Planet of the Apes and Under the Wire.
It seems that
Planet of the Apes and Master of Disguise.
He was also nominated for the MTV Movie Awards Best Villain for Planet of the Apes.
Okay, this is too many award nominations for Planet of the Apes.
He won. The People's Choice Award for Favorite TV Crime Fighter for 2009 for Lie to Me.
So he did get something. Crime Fighter isn't the first way I would describe him on that. But anyway, this is...
Crime Fighter is a real loose term.
Yeah. This is Oscar-nominated actor Tim Roth's directorial debut and retirement.
Yep.
The War Zone, 1999, courtesy of Carl H. Thank you, Carl. And
Carl Hogan.
I assume the reason he didn't direct any more movies is because he got it right the first time?
Probably.
And had nothing else to prove?
Well, I guess if you're writing about things that you know deeply.
I suppose so.
As noted Academy Award winner, Oliver Stone?
He's got to have something.
Platoon? Did Platoon win something?
Platoon won Best Picture.
Yeah, so Academy Award winner Oliver Stone once said out loud to me, personally, directly to me, at one of those master classes that I paid for, 3 Oscars. Is that what it says?
It does. Winner, Best Director, Born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
Winner, Best Director, Platoon. And winner, Best Adapted Screenplay, Midnight Express.
Ooh, the movie with my biggest fear. Getting thrown in a Turkish prison and falling in love with a Swedish man.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 biggest fears.
It is scary. I hope it never happens. I hope one of them happens, though.
Which one? Dealer's choice?
Dealer's choice.
Turkish prison or gay sex with a Swedish man?
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's going to be a tough challenge. Did you say what movie?
I did. I said it's The War Zone.
The War Zone.
Yeah.
So, The War Zone. What would you like to tell the folks about The War Zone, Scott? So it's a family in what, like rural? Is it?
It's England.
It's England. Yeah. No, I was gonna say it's not Ireland. It's England. It's
Yeah.
Rural England.
Yeah.
Who are your kind of lower middle, like lower class, too many babies.
Yeah, they've moved to a more rural place from London.
Yeah.
Because the son misses London.
Yeah, and he talks about missing London. So the husband is Ray Winston.
I didn't know that their characters were just dad and mum. M-U-M.
Yeah.
They did not have names.
I guess I didn't hear names.
Okay, because we never get a last name, so the kids are just their first names.
Yeah.
And and mum and dad are mum and dad.
Yeah. Ray Winston and a much younger Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
Who, you know what? Not bad looking. For younger Tilda?
For younger and pregnant?
Not too bad. Like, she looked okay. She, not quite as alien from outer space looking in 1999.
She's really perfected her look in recent years.
Yes.
Just as truly something interplanetary. Intergalactic planetary.
Correct.
Planetary intergalactic.
There's not really a lot goes on in the very beginning of the movie.
Pretty early on, they get into a horrific car accident.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
so
first thing I wrote was
pregnant.
Yes.
And she starts her water breaks,
Yeah.
and she like doesn't even really notice.
Yeah.
And so they have to like scramble to get out of there to get to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're on the way to the hospital, the son and daughter are like hanging out the sunroof. And Ray Winston is not fully paying attention to the road, and there's like a down tree.
Syndrome. Oh.
Down syndrome, and he swerves to miss it, and completely flips the car, and somehow doesn't kill the two kids.
Yeah, and somehow nobody dies.
Yeah.
It, like, inexplicably. It was a horrific car accident.
Yeah, it was-
They should probably all be dead, at least, like,
Or paralyzed.
2 or 3 out of 4. But, like, everyone just sort of has cuts.
Yeah, a
and
little bit of bruising.
Tilda doesn't lose the baby.
Nope. Gives full birth.
Gives full birth.
Full birth.
And, and everyone's just sort of okay from that. And then we're back at the house, and Tilda's just hanging a titty out to breastfeed.
Titty?
Just going
Well,
for
how
it.
else are you supposed to breastfeed? Cover them up?
Put a screen up.
screen
Put one of those big Japanese folding.
room divider.
Yeah.
So you can get change behind it.
Yeah.
That's how you breastfeed in rural England.
Now that I say that, I kind of want one of those.
Just like right down the middle,
Yeah.
so that nobody can see what you're doing over here.
Yeah. Yeah. My room that I don't share with anyone, I still want like extra privacy.
Why not? It's your room. You do what you want.
It's true. It's nobody's business but mine. So
Nobody's body but yours.
it's true. So, and then fairly early on, they sort of give you a red herring in that the son might be a creep.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely direct you like to him being kind of weird, and,
Being weird about the sister.
Yeah,
But that was just to throw you off the scent.
yeah.
There's when we see Ray Winstone Dick.
It's
when
later.
Later.
I think it's later.
That's the next note I have.
Oh, okay.
Because
So,
when he gets out of bed at night
Yeah.
I don't know if there was just like a noise that didn't end up playing out. In
Yeah, or
anything,
something like that. Yeah, You're right. You're right. But so like a lot of the early part of the movie is just sort of you as the audience trying to understand the dynamic of the family.
Yeah, it's just sort of establishing
That like
the family.
the dad's kind of like I mean, because like you get the vibe that they're maybe they're a little bit bohemian, like they're a little bit kind of
a little bit
chill.
country and a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah, like you get that feeling for sure. And I think the first like kind of major thing that happens is that so there's an older sister.
Yeah.
Who still lives in the city. Or like like doesn't like has left the house and like doesn't really associate with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the baby's born, she kind of comes back into the picture for a little bit and then leaves again.
Yeah.
And the brother wants to leave and go live with her.
Yeah. Because he likes the city.
Because he likes the city, but the parents won't let him go because he's too young. And then, yeah, you're just sort of kind of getting the feeling of like how the parents interact with each other, how they interact with their kids.
Yeah.
But the first like major thing that happens is he's going to he's like out in like the moors of wherever.
Yeah, pretty much.
And when he comes back to the house and he sort of like approaches the house.
He sees through the window.
He sees through the bathroom window, but you don't see what he sees.
No.
You just see him.
Yeah.
So he looks in and he like immediately like backs away
like,
from the window.
The fuck is this?
And he's kind of confused by what he saw.
Yeah.
So he goes back in the house, and then a few scenes later, he sort of like confronts the sister and says like,
I saw you in the bath with Dad.
yeah, why were you in the bath with Dad? And she's like...
At which point, I write, I think I like where this movie is going.
She's like 16 or 17, maybe?
In there. Yeah, probably 16.
And he's probably like 15, 14 or
Like,
15.
yes.
But the actor looks way older, but I think he's supposed to be younger.
I think they're like 16, 14, I would put
Okay,
him
yeah,
at.
maybe. And she just sort of says like, well, he was getting out of the bath and I was getting in the bath.
Yeah.
So we were just sharing the water, which, first of all, that's kind of more gross than what happened.
That's grosser than rape.
Like, you're gonna bathe in your dad's
Filth.
dirty water?
Filth.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're poor and you're sharing water.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I don't care if you're in rural England. I don't care if you're on the moors.
Water everywhere, and so many drops of drink.
Not that water. Not Ray Winstone dirt water.
I bet you there's people that would drink it.
Ugh.
I bet you there's people that would pay good money to drink that.
I'm sure. Well, there was that, like... That cam whore who sold her bathwater for $1 billion a bottle.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with people? You know what? Eugenics.
Yeah.
No one's buying bath... In my world, nobody's buying bathwater.
I don't take baths, but I'll let you buy my shower water for $100,000.
Sure.
Yeah.
Same deal here. And I'll fucking take a bath for
Off my body into a cup. There you go. Shower water.
Just run off.
I'm too big for baths. I am. Bathtubs are not designed for full-grown men.
Too big for baths.
It's true. Right? Like you don't agree? Bathtubs are too small for full-grown men.
I suppose. Yeah, I haven't.
Because I don't want to sit in a bath with my upper body out of the water and my legs in the water.
Actually, true.
And it's not comfortable to be.
I want to be
like laying down up to your neck, but your knees and legs are out of the water. You know It's not comfortable.
You're actually 100% right. I want to be submerged.
Yeah,
if I'm in water.
If I'm in the bathtub, I would like to be up to my neck, but my whole body's underwater.
Are you suggesting we put out a line of big boy bathtubs?
I am. That's our next adventure. After this podcast gets...
Next venture or adventure?
Adventure.
Okay.
After we get too many listeners and we can't talk about the things we want to talk about anymore because YouTube's going to cancel us, then we'll do big boy baths.
Deal.
All you need to do is get here's what I want. What
do you want?
I want a recliner, but it's a bathtub.
Yes.
So it's a tub, it fills with water, and then you can control leaning backwards... leaning forward, sitting up straight.
Yeah.
It's like those old people bathtubs that you need to sit up in, but you can recline so you can lay back.
Yeah.
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 I remember house sitting for my grandma a long time ago, and she had one. It was one of those sit down bathtubs. Yeah. And I was like, oh, sick. It's going to be like a hot tub, but it's like a bathtub, right? So I get in and I start filling the water, but the water can only go so high before it starts to automatically drain.
Yeah,
so that you don't overflow it.
Yeah.
And it was barely up to my armpits.
Worthless.
And I was like, what the hell's the point of this?
What a fucking waste.
Yeah. It was terrible.
I agree. Speaking of YouTube canceling us, part 1 of last week is limited monetization.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But that wasn't the one where we said all the things. So I'm interested what
are you
what that was. There's no way I can fight. Well,
you can't fight limited?
Oh no, I've already requested review and they have already confirmed that yes, this should definitely be limited.
Did they tell you what it was?
Of course not.
Okay.
And hey, even if I get 1 million subscribers and ask them, they still won't tell me if Adam's.
So what does limited even mean?
I don't know. This video may earn limited or no ad revenue due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. It remains fully playable and is eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium.
Okay.
So, hopefully everyone watching has YouTube Premium. But if you're going to spend money on YouTube, just spend it on this channel and not YouTube Premium.
Or just give us the money directly.
Give us the money. Stop fucking around.
Don't give YouTube money to that so that they can give us a smaller...
Don't give that... that's probably what got us last time. That person, Christine, Polish last name.
Christine Baranski.
Wojcicki?
I don't know.
It's not Christine Baranski. She's lovely. She was in Bowfinger, goddammit.
Not a looker, though.
No, she's a handsome woman.
Handsome. Very strong jaw.
Yes.
Anyways, back to not taking baths. So yeah, he confronts her and she just kind of says, he was getting it out.
She brushes it off.
Nothing happens here. Mm-hmm. He weirdly kind of the feeling you get thrown at you is that he's jealous. But that's not actually what it is. But that's what you get tricked into thinking.
Kind of, yeah.
Is that he's mad that he's not taking baths with his sister. Mm-hmm. Which then she sort of calls him out on.
Yeah.
Like they have an argument and he's just like, why? You're so mad. Because he said, why would you let dad do that to you? And then she's like, why? Because you want to do it? Like you want to have a bath with your sister? And he's like, no. I'd rather have a bath with your best friend. Well, not directly, but indirectly, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, then just sort of like a series of Tilda's kind of struggling as a mother now that she has a baby.
They go on a family pub outing.
Very silly.
Because why?
Because that's what you're doing.
Why wouldn't mother, father, baby and two teenagers all go to the pub together? Yeah. The sister meets her kind of sort of boyfriend, little baby Colin Farrell.
Who's it looks exactly the same, just as hunky.
Yeah, literally.
Literally just the same.
Yeah.
They go out on kind of like a date.
Yeah.
But the brother like totally cockblocks Colin Farrell and says, "Oh, can I come?
Can I come?"
And they let him go. And they stay out all night. And then Ray Winston's very pissed at them.
Yes.
And when they I don't think what are my notes? What are my notes here? I wrote just a casual bath for your adult daughter. So super cool. I wrote in all caps, young Colin.
I wrote Lil Baby Farrell !
So it's all kind of leading to the brother finds out that the dad has been like sexually abusing the sister.
There's like up on the moors. There's like
that's after.
That's later. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so he finds out that's what's happening, and he kind of tells her, like, we need to catch him and stop him, and she's reluctant at first, but then she sort of agrees. So he gets a camera from, I don't even know where he got the camera from.
The camera.
Did the sister have the camera and she was taking photos or something?
They must have had an existing camera.
But they're poor. How do they have a camera?
I don't know how poor they are. I think they just moved to the country.
I
don't know. Until recently, they could afford London real estate.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, that's true. I just thought that they were like more worse off. Like they can't just afford to
I think Ray Winstone just looks like that.
I mean, he does kind of look
Ray
like
Winstone looks poor.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's just the vibe. But Tilda Swinton looks rich.
Well, those titties ain't poor.
Those titties ain't poor.
So they sort of concoct a plan kind of where he's gonna like sneak up on them when it's happening and videotape it and then use it to get the dad to stop. And I think it's also vaguely implied to use it to make them move back to the city kind of.
That's like his selfish reason.
Yeah, right. So there's like an old bunker.
Yeah, it's like
a World War
ruins
II bunker on the moors.
Yeah.
That Ray Winston takes his daughter up there on a nice afternoon walk, a nice stroll.
Fucks the shit out of her.
And just full on Jesus sex.
Yeah.
And she even says, why can't we do it like you do it with mom? And he said, no, we can't do it like that. And then he proceeds to fuck her in the ass.
Yep.
Right up the ass.
Thanks, Tim Roth.
And the brother like sets up the camera, but then like obviously can't watch because he like
because he's a coward.
Yes, he is definitely a coward.
Watch your dad fuck your sister.
P.S.
In the ass.
The Jesus sex and/or the loophole, amazing, the best thing that's ever been invented.
True.
So yeah, so now they have it, and they're going to confront him about what's happening. And I love the way that Ray Winston deals with the confrontation.
Denial to the end.
And then just gets
very angry.
Super violent.
Yeah.
Like, just the most violent.
Yes.
Like, how dare you say I would do that even though you saw me do it?
Even though we both know I did it.
Yeah. Even though everybody involved in this conversation knows exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And how dare you? A little piece of trivia here is that at a public screening of the movie during the Toronto International Film Festival, one viewer was so upset and devastated that he rose to his feet and shouted that he couldn't take anymore.
Wow.
Headed for the exit, intending to pull the fire alarm. But director Tim Roth, who was in attendance, intercepted him at the door, and it took 20 minutes of intense conversation to calm the man down.
Wow.
Also, according to director Tim Roth, the bunker scene was so difficult to film that a sound man almost ruined a take by crying into the microphone.
Wow.
Ray Winston also found acting the scene upsetting and nearly left the production because of it. Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
This is some serious shit.
Apparently, Tim Roth was also really apprehensive at the film's debut at Sundance, So he and Ray Winston did tons of tequila shots in the projectionist booth to calm their nerves.
Nice. Can you explain my note that says, I've never gotten to burn my sister's titty? Not once. When was there a titty
She wanted to be he was
yeah,
punishing her because that's what you do? When your sister's getting butt fucked by your dad, you're like, I need to physically punish you.
Yeah.
You need to be hurt.
Yeah. So he's holding like a lighter to her titty. Yeah. I'm like, look, if we get to do that, I've been missing out, is what I'm saying.
Also, the brother and sister were both underage during filming.
Yep.
But their parents had read the scripts and were aware of what was involved.
And we're totally chill with it.
And the last thing of any of us want in this production was to scar kids in any way, Tim Roth said. And I'm sure that everything was fine.
Everyone's good.
The aforementioned Jesus sex in the bunker scene
Yep.
is very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe the most uncomfortable I've ever been watching any form of sex scene.
But
because
that didn't stop you from...
Well, Scott, I'm human.
Okay.
First of all, I'm a man. I'm 40. Although I'm not 40, but you're almost 40.
No, I'm not.
It is very
uncomfortable. And I'm not even human. I'm a cat.
When she starts crying,
yeah,
I was like, I can't get through this.
I wish I didn't have a boner right now.
Yeah, like I wish I wasn't rock solid right now. Because like her cries of pain are the most...
It's fucking rough.
Uncomfortable I've ever been seeing a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I literally balled up on the couch and was like, So yeah, at the very end, after they confront him, and then he storms out of the house, and he eventually comes back and just goes to the bedroom.
Yeah.
And they come back down, and he's trying to give them the speech of like, listen, when you love somebody, you do a lot of things when when you're confused and when you're in love, and he's trying to justify what it is, and he gets up to sort of like confront them, and the son has a knife, gives him the old stabby stab, and then he dies on the floor.
He sure does. What I had a couple other notes, both of which you will need to refresh me on because I watched this a while ago. So the older sister came to visit for a minute, and I wrote, "What the fuck is Carol's deal? Why would I have written that? What was her deal? Was she being weird about something?"
I don't remember.
Huh.
I don't know your note.
And then I guess nearer the end, they were driving to the hospital again. The baby was sick. The baby was sick. And I said, I'm secretly hoping they'd get in another massive car accident on the way to the hospital.
And again, everybody's fine.
And again, everyone's fine. Yeah. And didn't need diaper blood.
No, diaper blood's gross.
I you know what? As a fairly blanket statement, I never need diaper blood.
No. You need to get into very specific fetishes, Scott. There was one other thing, too, is like when the son doesn't want to tell Tilda Swinton, but he kind of gives her like the don't leave him alone with the baby.
Yes.
But it's like, is he gonna fuck a baby?
I think
he's fucking the daughter because she's older. He's not a pedophile.
Because there is grass on the field and he has chosen to play ball.
I don't think there's grass on a baby's field, Scott. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about the daughter.
Huh.
There's not grass. I don't want. No.
This led me to my very last note, which my very last note was, "Oh, Tim, who hurt you? Who?"
Well,
that led
funny you should ask.
To a very interesting conversation.
My last note was that was nuts.
So I'm gonna read. I obviously put this on my litter box, which is Drew Sarian. If you want to follow me and see all of the many things that I watch, I'm not gonna beat last year's record for movies watched, although I still have about half a month. So
true,
and I got a lot of all requests to watch, so maybe I will. So I had reviewed this, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. And I said,
I'd say that's about right.
I don't know who hurt you, Tim, in the past, but this is screaming for help or something. And person who follows me, who goes by the name of Pigeon,
if you're listening,
said, oh, here's some comments of a link to The Guardian and a link to a French newspaper that I didn't click on specifically because I wanted to wait till we got to the podcast. So Scott opened the English link from The Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you please read the title of the article?
As per The Guardian UK from what looks to be December 2016, Tim Roth, my father and I were abused by my grandfather.
So that's who hurt him.
That is, in fact, who hurt him.
His grandpappy was doing some bad things.
To him and his pappy.
Which is strange.
Which is interesting. You don't get a lot of grandparent abuse.
Usually it goes down, right? It goes grandfather to father, father to son.
But the father was chill. Tim Sr., good guy.
Yeah, apparently.
Tim Roth.
Unless he was allowing it to happen.
Ooh, then not so good. Let's find out together.
But, yeah, I mean, I guess it also, like, I would assume the grandfather molested his son when he was younger, and then molested Tim Roth when he was younger. But in my head, I like to imagine...
At the same time?
Like a 75-year-old grandfather abusing a 40-something-year-old father
and a teenager?
And a teenage Tim Roth.
That is a much funnier scenario.
That's a pretty fucking good play.
Oh, that...
Like, I'm not going to molest you when you're a kid. I'm going to wait until you're a full-grown man, and then I'm going to rape you.
That's like as funny as The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
Kinda,
yeah. Different, but it's still abuse. It's abuse in funny ways.
Abuse in funny ways.
Tim Roth, the acclaimed British actor who rose to global fame with roles in Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, has said that both he and his father were abused by his grandfather. Roth, who has previously spoken of his own abuse, has not before said who his abuser was, nor that his father was similarly abused. Speaking to The Guardian to promote new TV series Rillington Place. Oh, interesting, because there's an old movie called 10 Rillington Place, right? Must be related. Anyway, Roth said his father had left the British Communist Party in the 1970s, in part in disgust over its sex scandals that appalled him. He was an abused kid, my dad, and it was a terrible childhood that he had, and he took that shit seriously. Roth clarified that he was not himself abused by his father, as in the relationship depicted in his directorial debut, The War Zone, 1999, in which a father abuses his daughter, but that they were both abused as children, by his grandfather. Boo, Grandpa Roth.
Boo, Grandpa Roth.
He was abused, and I was abused, but I was not abused by him. Not all A's are B, but not all B's are A. I would all abusers are. Not all butts are abused. I was abused by his abuser. It was his father. He was a fucking rapist, but nobody had the language. Nobody knew what to do. That's why I made The War Zone. Roth, 55, has acted in large-scale Hollywood movies such as Grace of Monaco and The Hateful Eight, as well as smaller art house projects. He won much acclaim for Chronic, which premiered at Cannes last year, and in which he starred as a palliative care nurse falsely accused of abusing a patient, with quite the ending on that movie.
That movie's pretty good.
For those who want to check that one out.
He was also in The Musketeer. Remember that, like, action Musketeer movie? That's so fucking weird. You know what? I would love to give that movie another rewatch, but somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah, we don't watch movies for free anymore.
No, you people have to pay us to watch movies going forward. So if you want to pay for the Musketeer starring Tim Roth, then now's your opportunity.
No Time Like the Present.
No Time Like the Present.
So, Carl H.
Or if you want to pay for Strange Thing About the Johnsons, or you want to pay for The Death of Dick Long.
Oh, somebody pay for The Strange Thing About the Johnsons, or The Death of Dick Long. Both.
I would love to review both of those on this podcast, but only if people pay for it, because I'm not doing it for free, because I'm not a whore.
No, you are a whore.
No, whores do it for free.
We need to go. We need to take you back.
Free.
We need to take you back to whore school because
back to whore school
because you didn't get it the first time.
Well, I didn't graduate whore school, so I took it in summer school because I had to.
You took night classes.
I took night classes on whore school.
But Carl H., good pick.
Yeah, it was good. I honestly had never heard of it before.
No, I was unfamiliar with it, and it definitely delivered. So well played.
That is another interesting thing for a season of the podcast in the future when we have time to do new seasons.
Rate movies we didn't know about?
Or just like movies directed by actors that are kind of like their one and only, or they're like they only have like one known movie that they've directed.
Like Elizabeth Banks's Charlie's Angels.
Correct. Yeah.
That's a movie I hope to
Or,
never watch.
I mean, I'll try and remember the other one, but you keep talking. I think there's a
Orson Welles' Citizen Kane.
Orson Welles' Citizen Kane.
Is that a good example?
No.
How about Peter Berg?
I mean, Peter Berg's my guy, so how come we never talk about the fact that Sylvester Stallone directed Staying Alive?
Oh yeah,
Isn't that wild?
that is wild.
Yeah,
You always forget about that one.
Or just things like that, like weird things like that,
Yeah.
like Sly Stallone directing a gay man doing disco.
And also Sly Stallone having maybe a screenwriting Oscar.
Yeah.
Did Rocky?
Yeah. I don't know if he was Yeah, he must have been the screenwriter.
I think Rocky won Best
Rocky won
Picture,
Best Picture.
and Stallone wrote it. I don't know if he won.
Yeah.
For he was nominated. Nominated for actor and screenplay.
Yeah, but it did win Best Picture.
And it won Best Picture, but he wasn't a producer or whatever.
Pay us to watch Rocky. Pay us to watch Rocky.
Sure. Pay us to watch Rocky 5. The good one.
The good one with AIDS.
Tommy Gunn.
AIDS. Died of AIDS.
Which takes us to 20 years into the future with 2019's Loquisha from Benedess, who I believe is our official animator, who has done one animation. So pick it up, Ben.
And only sort of did it good.
I thought he did it great.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. What?
Well, one of us was the right animal.
Oh yeah.
The other one was not the right animal.
I you know what? If I was you, I would be saying the same things right now.
Yeah.
I agree. I think. Did you end up a lynx?
I was a lynx.
Yeah.
Not a fucking lynx. I have a tail.
So you know.
And my paws are big, but not that big.
But not that they're not fucking snowshoes.
And I don't have pointy ears. I'm not an elf.
So, you know, notes for next time, Ben. Friendly advice from an angry man.
Yeah. So
Loquisha.
Lohanthony.
So this one confused me because I was positive.
P-O-Z.
P-A-W-S-ative.
Okay, whatever.
That I had downloaded this the second I heard about it in 2019.
Yeah.
But
I think you did, because I think we had planned on watching it at some point.
So I don't know what happened, but I could not find it anywhere on all 53 terabytes of my hard drives. 1 terabyte of which is dedicated to movies, and 52 of which are dedicated to other things. And but I couldn't find it, so I had to re-download it. And then when I went to watch the one I downloaded, I noticed it was fairly quickly, because they even dub the text titles, and it was
I don't
Russian dubbed.
I don't believe that that's called dubbing.
It should.
I don't think Russian text replacing English.
No,
text.
it didn't. No. It said the text in English, and a Russian man spoke over the text in Russian. They dubbed text.
I thought maybe you were retarded.
No. Not today.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan. Yeah. So I'm like, I probably have to find another one. But luckily, it was free on Tubi.
Tubi!
And also, I figured out how to download from Tubi. So I didn't have to watch it on Tubi.
Tubi.
Okay, stop being that excited about Tubi.
Unofficial sponsor of the podcast, Tubi.
Tubi.tv.
Bing and Tubi.
Bing it and Tubi it.
Bing Tubi, you'll find it.
Tubi or not Tubi? The answer is Tubi.
Tubi.
So this stars, I was going to say Jimmy Savile, but that was the British Mr. Rogers pedophile.
Yep.
This is Jeremy Savile.
Writer, director, producer, and actor of Loquisha.
You would describe this as a passion project?
He's a passionate man. He's a passionate man about his love of being anti-woke. Because all of his other projects are very much anti-woke.
Okay, that's what I thought, that's what I was expecting from this.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be like some Daily Wire shit. Spoilers for several weeks in the future. Just a little teaser for you baby birds there.
Baby birds.
But yeah, I thought this was going to go pretty hard right wing.
I don't. Yeah,
and I think some of his other stuff does.
I don't know how hardcore right wing he is. Per
He's
se.
just anti.
I think he's just like this whole woke culture is kind of ridiculous. So I'm just gonna make the movies I want to make. But also, I think because he's I don't know, he's probably like close to 50 or maybe
he looks
just
50.
into his 50s.
Yeah,
and like his sense of humor ended in 2003.
Certainly.
So everything he
to be fair, the best time for humor.
I suppose.
The Bush administration.
The Bush administration. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Nobody cares.
You can make Drawn Together.
You can make Drawn Together.
That's pretty much like
your litmus test.
That's the litmus test for a time in comedy. Could I make Drawn Together?
Could I make Drawn Together? No.
Anytime after Drawn Together was made? No.
No.
And earlier, they wouldn't have been there yet. So literally, just the Bush administration is the only funny time in our nation's history.
Come on me if you want to live.
A classic.
Yeah.
So it's clearly pretty low budget.
Yeah, I mean it's completely financed and produced by him.
This is all Jeremy all the time.
This is all him making his own movie. He's made several other ones that got a little bit of recognition, like as far as like being stupid bad movies.
This one definitely got the most
this was the most
internet
airplay.
talk.
He also did The Test in 2012.
Okay.
And then he did one that was called like the gay man. I don't know, the something.
The gay man's wife. It's like the time traveler's wife, but he's gay and doesn't time travel.
He apparently. What is this?
Oh, did you find a Jeremy?
Well, he did a short film in 2005 where he plays George W. Bush.
Oh,
he was also in one episode of Modern Family.
Was he now?
Apparently. Anyways,
did he play the fat Mexican son?
Yes, he's Ricardo Montalban.
What?
Rico Rodriguez.
I think it's Rico Rodriguez, right?
Rodriguez.
Also the name of an MMA fighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, but anyways.
Starring Randy Couture as Manny.
But yeah, so his style of comedy is very much like pushing like the comfortable norms of today, but like bad.
Yeah, I hope you SJWs don't get too shook about this.
Yeah, but even by 2003 standards, it's still not good.
No, that's correct.
His target audience is people that were in high school in the 2000s and are now in their 40s.
Yeah.
So
I find that unrelatable.
The idea is that he's a bartender in Los Angeles. Detroit. He's a bartender in Detroit.
Detroit Rock City. He is but a simple barkeep.
Who is like very he's like the typical like knowledgeable bartender who's there to listen to all your problems, give her these like one-line zingers,
folksy homespun wisdom.
Yeah. So my first note was just like all these fucking awful one-liners. He's throwing out just all these, but I wish I'd written them down because at the time when I watched it, I was like, no, I'm gonna remember these. And now, like a week later, I'm like, nope, I don't remember. The only one that I remember that I wrote down is that so he's helping just like random people at the bar, and then this black lady comes in and she's like, my boyfriend's being a jerk, and I don't know how to get him to change, and he's giving her the advice.
Yeah.
And then he goes, like, here, have a drink. And so he gives her another drink while he's giving her advice. And she says, are you trying to get me drunk? And he goes, no, I'm trying to sober you up. And I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking done with this. I'm so done with this movie.
Nice.
But it was just like a bunch of those like stupid, quick one-liners that aren't funny.
Yeah.
But like he thinks they're funny.
Oh, he thinks they're great.
He thinks they're great.
He thinks they're very clever.
And the thing is, like he as a person in the movie is actually kind of charming. Like he
against all odds, yes.
Yeah, like he's not a jerk at all.
No,
he's actually like a very likable guy.
Yeah,
it's just that like,
well, wouldn't you be in your own movie?
I mean, true. No, but like you could.
But he is because that's true. Like other people could put themselves in their movie and think they're coming off good, but not.
But come across as like a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Of course. So
me in the main event.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's like,
who's that pedophile in the red singlet?
So she makes a couple of like silly jokes, and one of the jokes is about like Gandhi in India during the hunger strike, and he does this very, very funny
flawless
Gandhi impersonation about like, I don't know, like the whole conversation is about like hunger strike, but for like a dumb reason.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, if this whole movie is like the Gandhi impersonation,
then good.
Then this is the best movie I've
I was going to say, I got real psyched when that happened because like the first 2 minutes, there's just a lot of like acting going on. Like people are acting real hard, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a trudge to get through.
This is like casting call for a movie, and you hired the first and only person that came in for the audition.
Yeah,
because like a lot of the side characters that are just like there for a couple scenes, like mostly patrons at the bar, are just like saying their lines right off the script.
They are delivering their lines.
Like there is no acting or exaggeration. These are my lines and I am saying them to you.
You are hearing me talk.
Waiting for you to say your next line so that I can say my next line.
I have said my thing, now you say your thing. Yeah, and then, then I write down, okay, you won me back with the Indian accent, because if the rest of the movie is one voices, then I am very much on board, but it was not. And that's the end of voices. Well, besides one, the main voice. But I thought it was going to be lots of voices.
Yeah, me too. So the woman...
There is a nary a Chinese to be found.
The woman in question, who is kind of like a bargain bin Tiffany Haddish, is like, oh, like
she kind of is.
I know some people who do radio. Like, you should get your own radio talk show. Like, you should do a podcast. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't think I'm good enough to do a podcast. And then we get to meet just like his completely like bitch of an ex-wife who like won't even give him like a little break.
Yeah. So the premise is they want to send their son to special school.
Yeah.
Like
and gifted school.
Yeah.
Not special school. That's a different kind of school.
It is a different kind of school and cheaper. And this one's very expensive, and he's not making enough money at the bar to afford that. And my understanding is the wife flat out refuses to work herself.
Kinda, yeah. That's kind of the impression. So, like, I don't understand how she lives, and unless he's just paying child support and she's living off the child support. But even then, how much money could he possibly be making? That bar has 5 people in it at all times.
Yeah. And
it's not like he's working some, like, hip bumping bar in downtown Detroit. Like,
yeah, no one's got handlebar mustaches and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a bear bar. Maybe it should be.
It should have been. But like, and yeah, that's the thing through the whole movie. And because my second last note is, bitch, if you want the kid to go to the school so much, then I don't know, maybe you also make some money.
Yeah. Get an OnlyFans, bitch.
Get an OnlyFans. Get fired from your other job for doing OnlyFans, but who cares? Because you're making more money on OnlyFans. Yeah. You stupid.
P.S. One thing I forgot to mention is that after she got fired, she updated the price of it from $25 to $40.
She being NXT Women's Wrestling Champion until 2 days ago, Mandy Rose, who got fired from the WWE for being a whore.
Amanda Sacamano is her real name.
Good name.
Man, she's only 32. Jesus Christ. So my next note. Oh, sorry. So yeah. So he the wife refuses to work, and he kind of goes like, "Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out." And she's like, "Yeah, you're gonna figure it out. What are you gonna do? Work another bar job? Like you're gonna work 2 bar jobs?"
There was a very funny thing, and I think their first conversation that I don't know if you caught.
I don't know.
Maybe
I did. I'm just waiting for you to say it.
I like your style. They had to dub over the word iPhone with smartphone.
Yes.
Very funny.
Even though you could still see the Apple logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I question why that needed to be done.
I don't know.
But I
Just to
love
make
that
sure
it was.
Make sure they didn't get like a strike or something.
I guess, but
Yeah,
super funny.
very funny. I
And
did
like,
notice
P.S. not good dubbing.
No, terrible dubbing.
Like highly noticeable dubbing. Yeah.
Not like the audio that they recorded was not mixed.
Not a great match.
It was not mixed. It was just put over top.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in the bar, and that woman comes back in, and she's like, "Hey, thanks for the advice. Now my boyfriend's like worshiping the ground I walk on.
Stopped hitting me,
and whatever." And he goes,
and he got me pregnant, and he didn't leave.
Yeah, exactly. So he must be white. And so he.
This is a bad show.
No. So he.
We do a bad show.
She says to him like, you know, hey, you should record a test for a podcast. I'll submit it for you, and we'll get your own show. And he goes, yeah, maybe. And he goes like, well, you know, like, because you can make good money off it. And he's like, how much money can I make? And she's like, oh, like on the low end, whatever. On the high end, this. And he goes,
$1 billion.
And he's thinking like, good, that's the money I need to help send my son to school.
I can send my son to a special school, and I can get I can sign up for OnlyFans.
Correct.
And see Mandy Rose softcore porn.
Even though it's not OnlyFans, it's her own thing.
Fan time
or something. Yeah. So
couldn't go name brand Mandy. Come on.
So he goes to do this sort of like test run thing. And it doesn't really go that well because he just doesn't have like the charisma or the confidence to sort of like do it as himself. Because when he's in the bar, he's like reacting to the people.
Yeah.
He's doing his own sort of like just natural flow.
Yeah.
And when he's talking to somebody while recording, it seems like stale or whatever. And he submits it, and he doesn't get accepted. And my note was during like this whole time was just like, he's a horrible actor.
He's not a good actor.
Like he's constantly looking side to side or up and down, and he's giving all these like sassy facial expressions and hand gestures, but like before he's even Loquisha.
Yes,
like he's just doing it as his natural acting style. Like, I'm a bad actor in front of a camera. Like, if I have to act for camera, I'm terrible. In the ring, doing wrestling and stuff, totally fine.
Yeah.
But as soon as I know that there's a camera filming on me, I do, like, hand gestures that I wouldn't normally do. Or, like, my eyes naturally want to, like, look directly down the camera for some weird reason, even though I'm not supposed to. But he's doing all of that. Like, he's over-exaggerating, and he's being, like, ridiculous, and it just is awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It's certainly bad. Now, with him submitting the first thing, was that I feel like the implication was that his first one was good. And if they were willing to hire white men, they would have, but they weren't.
No, I think it was that it's just sort of like very generic middle of the road, and they were like, we would hire you, but we already have a bunch like you.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Like that, you don't stand out. You're not unique enough.
Yeah.
And so then when he's like kind of down and out about it, and he reads this card that's from the like a business card of the company, and it says like, you know, looking for new podcasters or radio hosts, ethnics and women, highly
ethnics. I think it said ethnics.
Yeah, highly like, you know, whatever, like
persons
highly,
of color,
highly encouraged.
Yeah,
and he kind of goes like, well, yeah, no shit, like I'm a white guy, they don't want me, they want some sassy black woman. They should go in there and tell you how it is. And he starts doing...
And thus was born Loquisha.
So then he realizes, like, shit, like, I could fucking do this.
Yeah.
Like, I could be a sassy, fat black lady and get billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So he does a recording of him doing the audio. Yeah. And he submits it to like an old white guy and his son.
Yeah, who run the local radio station. And it is at this point that one of the most infuriating lines of the movie is uttered when they get her audition and love it, and then I think the dad says, "But we don't do talk radio." I'm like, then what the fuck was this audition for?
Yeah, then what are you doing? Like, if you're putting out requests for
what
people
did they
submit,
want? A DJ?
I guess.
Like, I got legitimately pissed at that line.
I agree with you.
That's a fuck up.
That's just bad writing.
That's horrible writing.
You're doing a bad job, buddy.
Yeah.
But even so, like when he submits the tape, like, how does anybody believe that that's a woman? he doesn't sound like a woman.
He still sounds like a man.
He sounds like a dude pretending to be... Dude sounds like a lady.
Dude sound like a lady. No, he sounds like exactly what is happening. Yeah. He sounds like a white guy doing a black woman's voice.
Sarcastic black woman voice.
But you know it's not a real black woman.
But they're like, this sounds great. This sounds perfect.
I like this bitch.
I like this bitch. Yeah, that's 100% what it is.
Yeah, it's funny. At some point, just offhandedly, a thing was mentioned that I had forgot had happened in real life. I forgot that Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered.
I honestly didn't know that until it got referenced twice in this movie.
Twice in this movie. Yeah, I remembered hearing about it at the time, and then it just left my mind.
It's a shame that it wasn't David Otunga.
No, David Otunga
he got away safe.
Is still with us.
It was before.
Former multi-time tag team champion David Otunga is still...
Oh, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I wish I... Okongo.
Cancelled. Demonetized. YouTube, if you're listening, this is the time to demonetize.
No!
He is called a black guy.
And explain why you did last week. I'm sure we did something last week, but I would love to know what, so we don't do it again. But also, maybe we'll do it again.
But also, the Hitler Manscaped one didn't, so I don't know.
And also the one where I said literally every word that YouTube demonetized Adam for that I said.
Or the one where the opening song was me saying fag.
Yeah. Or the one where the opening song was me saying fag. I think back to back.
They're a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, there's not a great deal of consistency, but that actually works in our favor. Like if there was consistency, we'd be in trouble.
True, very true. So, if there was consistency, none of these episodes would
I guess this just wouldn't be a podcast.
What they should do is they should hire us to be the people in charge of demonetizing, and then just give us double monetization.
I like that. And then we can demonetize all the woke SJW channels for being fags. Damn it. If that's the one that gets this episode, I'm gonna be mad.
No, I don't think you can be mad. No. I think if that's the part that gets us demonetized, you have to be like, I deserved it.
I have to own it.
I deserved it.
That's fair. It was worth the laugh. It was a funny thing to say. What am I gonna not say a funny thing? Get out of here.
Yeah. So another like stupid like minor B plot thing is that he like hates technology and smartphones.
Yeah.
And he's like very mad.
Not iPhones though, just smartphones.
Just smartphones. That he's mad that he had to get a smartphone. Yeah, but then he's
in
like
2019.
But then he's just like constantly using
and he's on it all the time.
It's so stupid.
All the time.
And like his son is like, you know, like there's a bunch of like dumb banter between he and the son about like, and he says it like a couple of times of like, oh, just let me check my emails first.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I don't know, I honestly don't remember what my note was, or the context of my note, but I just wrote Facebook friends in 2019.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What?
I know. I like, did Jeremy Saville, the person, just get a smartphone in 2019 and was like psyched about it?
Very possible.
and wrote it in? Like, I don't know.
You know what people aren't doing in movies? They're not using smartphones. I'm going to write it in.
I'm going to be the first movie with smartphones.
Guy with smartphone. So he realizes that obviously being a white guy doing a black woman persona is not going to work.
It's tricky.
So he needs to. So he gets the gig. They give him the job to do it. They offer him like a midnight to 3 a.m. slot time where he gets to be like a talk show, like help people with their problems.
Yeah,
love guru, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but. He obviously realizes that he's not going to be able to do it because they're going to see that he's a middle-aged white guy.
Yeah.
So here is the first occurrence of something completely fucking stupid.
I hope it's one of the thing I have.
One of the bar patrons is like a cool hip black guy.
Yeah.
Who he approaches and says like, "Hey, you've produced music, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've done some records and stuff for some local artists." And he goes, "Okay, let's have a chit chat." So he brings him in the back room and just fully lays out. Like, they wouldn't give me it because I'm a white guy. I pretended to be a fat black lady, a sassy black lady, and they gave me the gig, and now I need you to help me out. And the black guy goes, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Like,
but not before asking, you're not some kind of transgender, transracial, cross-cultural dresser, are you?
Yeah, well, my note was... It's a real. You're not a trans fag, are you? As a Teen Wolf 2 reference.
1.
Is it 1?
Yeah.
I guess it is 1.
Yeah. No one's seen 2.
Wait.
Jason Bateman.
You're not a fag, are you? No.
I'm
a wolf.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I don't like men. I just like to transform into a wolf and kill babies.
Don't worry. I don't like men. I like dogs.
I like dogs. I like female dogs. I like to put my knot in dogs.
I don't like men. I like female dogs, which of course brings us back to the original, the origin of Dude Dogs.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the origins of this podcast.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people know that this podcast started out as a pro-bestiality
Started out as a dog fucking podcast. How far and how not far we have come.
Yeah, 8 years later or whatever. Although I guess if you think about it, this podcast has been around. Us recording audio.
Us recording has been a while.
Putting it out has been.
Worst year of our lives was January 2018. I'll see if I can find the first podcast I put on
Good
YouTube.
luck.
Because it would be
fucking luck.
It would be like the first.
Oh, it's like all the Heart Cinema or
yeah.
Hearts whatever. Well, because we did a bunch before that too. All those ones where we just played games and we recorded them. Like those
I think we counted those as.
But those weren't named anything.
I think those were Heart Cinema.
Were they?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a see.
Doing a nice deep dive on how far back we can
go. Far back we go.
Because, like, I would say some of those early ones, like, on my parents' Sun Deck, would have been like...
Oh, they was a while ago.
Well, it was back when we were actively very good friends with noted friend not of the show, Nick Unthink. I don't know. I haven't talked to Nick in a long time.
It's been a while.
Although we do follow each other on Litterboxd, so...
Good for you guys. So I Suck Dick's Heart Cinema episode 1 was uploaded June 24th, 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So more than 10
years ago.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe we've been, in theory, doing some form of recorded audio chitty chat for over 10 years.
I know.
And it only took us 10 years to get monetized.
And good ones for 3 of them.
Yeah. 3 years to get fully monetized. That's insane.
It takes a while.
Unless we say bad things and then we get partially monetized, but we haven't said anything like that on this episode.
No, we've been very good boys today. All the good boy points.
So what ends up happening is he becomes like a huge success. His black friend becomes his producer. They make a deal where she's like, I will only perform as long as nobody else in the studio.
I need complete privacy.
Because I believe she says something about, like, there are people that if they knew where I was, they would come and shoot the place up, sort of, right? Something like that. Like, implying that she's, like, a bad black lady. And so his cool black producer friend agrees.
Yeah.
And they do it, whatever. And he becomes a huge success. So then they're going to move the time slot to like the regular during the middle of the day.
Drive time, baby.
Drive time to make more revenue.
Yeah.
But then what ends up happening is that they want like public appearances.
Yeah.
Like
and
they're like we're done with you being hidden. We need to know who you are.
Now, I could try to do the public appearances, but that would be very problematic.
I was hoping for blackface. 100%. I was hoping for blackface.
Of course I was hoping for blackface, but I understand not doing it. And it was somewhere around here. It was still early-ish in the game when I wrote, is it me or is this not racist enough?
Yeah.
I'll give it time. And it didn't really get a lot. There was some, I did like some imply. So as he gets super successful as LaQuisha on the radio, because there is a very strong implied racism that an actual black woman couldn't be this smart or insightful.
Yeah, that's.
So that's the strongest racism in the movie. So I liked that, but I didn't like that there wasn't more and more blatant racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like more. I wanted his LaQuisha to be more stereotypically racist. as opposed to actually being good and helpful.
Yeah, because he was giving like actual
real advice,
good wisdom and advice, just as Loquacia instead of white guy.
And there is one. I mean, it was kind of good or kind of funny. Was like when that kind of white supremacy type dude calls in, and is like, "You listen, like you need to shut the fuck up. You don't know what it's like to be a white guy." And he's like, "Don't I know?" And like that whole conversation, I thought was like kind of clever, but I'm not gonna give him that much credit of being like a smart writer or actor. But like, I don't know, like there was some parts of it that I was like, this could have gone in a very different direction.
Yeah.
So, in order to make the public appearances, what they do...
and before the public appearance thing came, just when he was initially doing the nighttime radio show, I'm like, why wouldn't you just get a black woman to pretend to be Loquacia and you pretend to be the producer and then just switch them up in the booth? And then they eventually sort of did that much later. So they figured out my plan later than I did. Yeah. And also, minor note, the younger of the two of the son of the father-son at the station looks like a more Mormon Trey Parker.
Yeah.
And then, as it gets more successful, Jeremy develops full dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
He starts having arguments with himself versus Loquacia that he can't control, even when he's been pulled over by a cop.
Yes.
So that's fun. I love that he has to keep telling everyone that he's not gay.
Yes.
Keep telling.
Awesome. Like, wait a minute. You're not a fag, are you?
No!
I already told you no.
I just play a black woman on the radio. Yeah. I'm not gay. I'm a wolf.
Big difference.
Imagine if he was also a wolf in this.
Oh, man. A werewolf pretending to be a black lady on the radio?
Wolfquacia?
Wolfquacia?
Be sick.
Let's combine Wolf Cop and Loquacia. That's pretty sick.
Oh, and before, when you said the first instance of something, my first instance of something that happened at least 3 times in the movie was people being really good at figuring out wage per hour. Huh. It came up like 3 times. They're like,
oh yeah,
they're like, we'll pay you $200 a night. He's like, and $200 a night for the 3-hour slide. He's like, what's that? $66.67 an hour. And then like someone at the bar, like,
well, it's when he talks to his producer friend and he says like, I can offer
comes
you
up with the producer
like $150. He goes, okay, so that's a 3-hour show of so what is that
like everyone was obsessed with dollars per hour. It was such a weird little detail. There was so they cast real
they get a
black lady
Loquacia
for public appearances and stuff, and so that goes along fine, but it basically, does she just get too big for her britches or does something else cause it?
No, she gets too like full of herself, like I'm the face of Loquacia.
Yeah, and she's like, I should get a way bigger cut. He's like, and like, I couldn't be more on his side in the argument. Like, she was being unreasonable.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you get 100% of the public appearance fees because you're doing the public appearance, so you should get it. Great. And you get a cut of what I make. Oh, here comes a sneeze that he's muted. Nope, but it's gone into remission and we're okay. And you get a cut of the radio thing where all you have to do is sit there.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want 145% of all revenue streams. And he's like, that's unreasonable, which it was.
Yep.
To which he says, and then she threatens to like go public with it. And he's like, are you blackmailing me? And she says,
I don't remember.
No, I'm black femaling you.
Right. Boo. Boo.
Fun.
Why can't it be Womanchester?
Apartments. Why don't they call them togethers? It was around this point I wrote confirmation that that actual black women are awful and should always be played by white men. There was a
the Wayans wouldn't have been that awful.
The Wayans men wouldn't have been that awful.
Correct.
Kim would have
been terrible. Kim would have went running and screaming to NAACP right away.
Poor Kim. But no, Damon would have crushed it. I agree.
Damon would have crushed
it. At some point, there's a random takedown of M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Where, they just said the thing that's true about him, where he had one or two good movies and then just a steep decline into dog shit thereafter. What? Oh, yeah. So, who was the they I'm referring to? So, I guess the radio producers, or the radio owners. So LaQuisha, the woman playing LaQuisha, like forces his hand basically, and he goes to the radio guys, and again, fucking everything with the radio guys involves some form of terrible writing. So because they've never met. No. Joe, the white guy, before, and I'm like, so, and as they're having the conversation about money and all that, I'm like, wait, they didn't know who Joe was a second ago, and now they somehow know he needs money for
Joe. You need money.
You need money for your kid's tuition. I'm
like,
how could you know that if you don't know who Joe is?
Exactly. Yeah.
God, fucking terrible.
That was terrible. That was
terrible. Goddamn writing in this movie.
You have no idea who this guy is. You've never interacted with him. You literally have no. You don't know that he's pretending to be LaQuisha.
Yeah.
That, like, he's even involved in the show. And then you're like, oh, I know this very important big plot point about you, right? That's you, right? You're the guy?
So Black Woman takes over as the actual radio host and is terrible
Say it.
Because she's an actual black woman.
Say it. Yeah.
And
you did it.
And look, I'm just saying what happened in the movie. I'm not saying my feelings.
Okay.
And everyone hates her.
Everyone hates her.
Literally, she's awful, and everyone hates her. So they gotta boot her, and then Joe comes in, and then they're faced with three options basically: kill the very successful show that has lately been tanking because a real black woman has been hosting. So
this is how a white man plays guitar.
Kill the show. Have Joe host it as Joe. Or have Joe host it as LaQuisha, but everyone knows it's Joe doing LaQuisha. Because, he came clean on the air and quit, and that's when Black LaQuisha took over.
Yeah.
But then they got rid of her, so they had to do this. So they go to, of course, a Facebook poll.
Wow. What else? 2019, what else are you going to do?
The decider of major business decisions. Yeah. Also, didn't know you could do polls on Facebook.
Couldn't tell you. This is news to me.
Or maybe just on their Meta Business Suite fan page for the radio station, they just made a post and let people respond in the comments, and then they counted manually.
Possibly.
Because Facebook rocks.
Facebook does rock.
How's your Facebook doing?
It's around.
Yeah?
It's in the metaverse.
Is it? Or is it deleted?
It's deleted.
Okay. Good for you.
Felt good.
I bet it did.
Except for now I can't sell things on Marketplace. That kind of sucks. I guess I can create a Marketplace account. I don't know if you can.
Did you act too hastily in deleting your Facebook?
Probably. Now how am I supposed to get rid of all the rest of my Funko Pops?
True. So they do the poll. It lands on a few for kill the show, and then I don't know, 20.
Do the math.
20%. 20% for kill the show, and then an even 40 each for Joe and LaQuisha.
Yeah.
So he ends up double hosting the show as Joe Talk with Joe and
LaQuisha.
And Live with LaQuisha.
Live with LaQuisha.
And then the black woman, not the LaQuisha, but the woman who he gave advice to,
Tiffany Haddish.
Fake Tiffany Haddish, who he gave advice to earlier, who by my count, he has met 3 times.
Yeah.
Probably has a completely unearned "I love you" scene at the end.
Yeah,
of the movie. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And it's
very much like Joe hired a woman he thought was attractive.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the Jeremy hired a very attractive black woman, so at the end of the movie she can be like very swooning over him and very hot for him, and he can go, "Oh yeah, daddy likes the dark meat."
Yeah, which is maybe why this movie wasn't more racist, because he likes him some brown sugar.
Maybe he was trying to impress her.
Maybe he was trying to impress her. So that was LaQuisha.
I got some good news and some bad news, Scott.
Uh-oh.
Good news is I shouldn't have drank a quarter of that bottle of Dayquil because I'm feeling a little high.
Okay,
but
awesome.
downside is I'm feeling very drowsy.
But it's Dayquil.
I know, but it even says on the bottle.
And you turboed it.
Can I read you the thing?
I insist.
Symptoms may include yellow skin or eyes, dark urine,
you jaundice?
sweating, nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, unusual tiredness, or loss of appetite.
But it's fucking
and I'm only getting the unusual tiredness. Woo!
Have you had the whole?
Oh, it's all gone.
Okay. Are you good to power through?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You were just giving a status report. Okay, great.
I'm just giving you a status of it. I think the only other thing I wrote was I love how a black guy was just super chill with him impersonating a black lady.
Yeah. Zero problems.
Never even once came up.
Yeah.
Where he was like,
100%
hey,
chill.
maybe you shouldn't do this, or it's a bad idea. He was just like, no, I love it.
Did anyone ever say
everybody was
it's a bad idea?
Super cool with it. No one gave a shit.
I like that. I want to live in that world. I want to live in LaQuisha's world.
Me too.
But it was there's certainly stuff to talk about, and I wanted it to be more right wing and racist because I thought that was the vibe, and I thought that's why everyone was like flipping out about it 3 years ago.
Yeah, I do remember quite a bit of talk about it.
Yeah,
but nothing. Like I really thought it was going to be a lot more like racially driven.
Yeah, but
it wasn't.
It's just a white guy doing a voice.
Yeah,
I do that every day.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
and you're better at it than Jeremy is. So.
I'm pretty good at it. So that was that. Which it's okay, Drew. I think we've landed at exactly the right movie to re-energize you. A 2010 Rob Reiner movie, Flipped, courtesy of Chairman Meow. And you said, I think off the bat, that you were going to have some words for our chairman.
I don't know if I guess friend of the show, Chairman Meow.
If they sent money, they're a friend. That is how much it takes to be a friend.
Understands the idea of picking a movie that has good context or something fucked up or something really funny or like a concept that's good to do like 15-ish minutes on a podcast. Like a
father fucking his daughter in the ass.
Correct. Jesus, sex, or a man pretending to be a black lady. I really don't think you understand the concept of what makes good podcasting, because I'm going to blatantly say out loud right now before we even review this movie that it was fucking nothing. I wrote 2 notes down. They are both about the exact same 2-minute scene that is like an hour and a something into the movie.
Yeah, which I guess is why you recommended it.
Not good enough!
But
I wanted to cut it.
Yeah. I wanted to cut myself.
Do it right now.
Okay.
I'll watch.
I just want to feel something.
Cross the street or down the road?
I'm going down the road.
You're done?
I've had enough of this fucking movie.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Flipped made you go down the road.
I initially wrote and kept asking throughout, why am I watching a 2010 Rob Reiner movie? What's the last... That's an interesting question. Last good Rob Reiner movie. Spinal Tap?
Did you know this was the last John Mahoney movie? Before
he did look old.
He kicked the bucket?
He did look quite old in it. I would believe that. For sure. Let's have a look at Mr. Reiner's directing credits. He directed the LBJ... Was that a HBO movie in 2016?
The LBJQT++. Lesbian by Johnson?
No, Lyndon Baines Johnson trans queer. Oh, I like that a lot. LBJTQ. Winner.
Who played LBJ?
Woody.
Did somebody show him his butt?
I think so. Upcoming. Reiner's got some interesting things coming. He's directing Albert Brooks. It's a Albert Brooks Defending My Life. So an Albert Brooks documentary.
Okay,
that's cool. It's got Jonah Hill as himself in it.
Oh, yeah, my favorite.
And Spinal Tap 2.
I don't know if that needs to happen.
In 2024.
I don't know if that needs to happen.
I don't know either. That's
Is every
bold.
buddy...
They're alive.
They're all still alive, right? Yeah.
We got a McKeon.
Yeah, you got a
We
Shearer.
got a Shearer. We got a Guest.
Yeah, I guess they're all alive.
They're alive, but...
Fred Willard's not. R.I.P. Can we...
Hold on, I have to find a decent... Let's go backwards and find the last good Rob Reiner movie. He's the director of Stand By Me, deleted and alternate scenes from 2019. Shock and Awe, don't know what it is. LBJ, Being Charlie.
Nope.
Who's the Charlie?
Charlie Bit My Finger.
I don't think Rob Reiner made a feature-length...
don't know.
Charlie Bit My Finger.
It's Charlie Bit My Finger.
It was written by Nick Reiner. How did he ever get that job?
Gee, I don't know.
A would-be governor's addicted son goes down the long, rough road of rehab, fighting against recovery every inch of the way. They made this movie like 8 times.
Yeah, it's
in the late 2010s.
The kid from Jurassic World.
Yeah, but Being Charlie,
Beautiful Boy.
what was the... Was Beautiful Boy the... what?
Beautiful Boy was the Steve Carell, Timothy Chalamet, let's try and get an Oscar and no one saw it movie.
What's the Lucas Hedges one?
Oh, About a Boy. No.
Nope, that's incorrect.
Bottom Boy.
I'd watch that, but that's not it. Fuck, I saw it at the theater. I saw it at a film... Drew, I saw it at a film...
With Russell Crowe, right?
Festival.
And it's gay conversion?
No, that's a different one. There's also a Addicted to Drugs, Lucas Hedges. The gay conversion is what's Beautiful Boy?
Beautiful Boy is Steve Carell and
Boy Erased. Oh no, Boy Erased and Ben. No, and Ben is back. I think
Ben is back.
Boy Erased is gay conversion.
Yeah, Ben is
back
drugs.
Is drugs.
Is that Julia Roberts?
Yeah,
she's the mom. Yeah, I just saw her face on the poster, so yeah, it's her. I saw her giant ass face on the poster.
Giant ass face?
Her giant ass face.
Okay, Rob Reiner.
Is this a bold statement? Julia Roberts kind of ugly?
Not even bold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, was okay in the 80s and 90s.
But even then had too big a mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gun to your head.
Oh, no.
Julia Roberts.
Get the gun out of there.
Julia Roberts or, what's her face?
Penelope Cruz?
No, I would choose Penelope Cruz. I like Penelope Cruz. You're the one that doesn't like her.
Julia Roberts
or Jennifer Garner.
Interesting. I had a mouthful of grapefruit crush when you asked that and almost didn't know what to do with it.
That's a hard choice.
Julia Roberts or Jennifer Garner?
That is a hard choice for me.
I
genuinely don't have an answer for you.
Well, I'm getting like conflicting feelings because I think despite her incredibly strong jaw, some would say too strong, and by some I mean everyone, Garner still might be more attractive and somehow more feminine despite having a man's face.
I guess it all comes down to what is the... See, I would need more context. Am I just having sex with them? Or do I have to marry them? I think Mary is Julia Roberts because she's got more money. And she didn't have Ben Affleck's sperm inside of her.
How about that? You have to fuck, marry, and kill them.
Ooh, who do I want dead more?
Well, that's only the last part.
No. That's a major part for me.
No, granted, it's important, but each part is equally important.
Because I could fuck or marry either one. They're the same to me. But which one do I want dead more?
But you have to fuck them for a year. You have to marry them and stay married for 15 years, and then you have to murder them.
Well, who's older? Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts.
15 years. She's gonna age quite a bit.
So is Jennifer. Jennifer might go full man. Who's to say?
Michael Mann?
She might go Michael Mann.
She might become Michael Mann?
Well, I mean, if she became Michael Mann, I would marry Jennifer Garner and never kill her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a tough choice.
Right? Fuck, marry.
But here's the thing.
It's the new game. Fuck, marry, and kill. Killing
Julia Roberts is a much bigger news story, so I feel like I would be a bigger celebrity.
True.
And that means
you'll be the man who fucked, married, and killed Julia
and that
Roberts.
means when they make a Netflix docuseries about me,
Lucas
bunch
Hedges
of
can play
women
you.
are gonna want to fuck me.
True.
Right? But
Yeah.
I feel if I kill Jennifer
You're gonna
Garner,
get so much jail
if
pussy.
I kill Jennifer Garner, they're gonna be like, eh. But maybe Ben will help me get out of prison.
Ben might get out of your prison, or
And then I can get a sick dragon back tattoo.
that's also true. I'm sure some fans of Alias would also help you get out of prison.
Why? Because they like Jennifer Garner.
Oh no, I guess they wouldn't be Jennifer
It's
Garner.
the other way
fans.
around, stupid.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
feel like Ben and I would get along really well. So
Yeah, unless someone brings up Batman versus Superman, then he'll get real sad.
yeah, but that was the best thing that's ever happened.
It was the best.
Ooh. I mean, we're spending way too much time on this, but I'm gonna say I would choose Julia Roberts.
Okay.
So that I can kill her and become a famous serial killer, get a Netflix docuseries about myself, and then have many women write me letters in prison telling me how much they want to marry me.
I wonder how many times we can talk about killing Julia Roberts until we get in trouble for that.
Well, we're not talking about killing the president of the United States of America.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
Back down the Rob Reiner film history. Being Charlie, no. And So It Goes, no. The Magic of Belle Isle, starring Morgan Freeman,
Sure.
no. 8, the prequel to 9, I assume. Flipped, 2010. The Bucket List. It's not good.
I mean, that's the last of his movies I've heard
that
of.
anyone's heard of. Yeah. Rumor Has It. What was that? Like a
Rumor has it.
like a fucking. It feels like a Diane Keaton or some shit. No, Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Costner.
Weird.
Shirley MacLaine and Mark Ruffalo. Interesting cast.
I like 3 of the 4.
Everyday Life TV movie. Alex and Emma. The Story of Us. Spinal Tap: The Final Tour. Straight to video. 1998. I Am Your Child TV movie. Is Ghosts of Mississippi good?
It's okay. That was a bad face
A
of
very old James, very
Woods.
aged up James Woods.
looks terrible.
Noted.
I think it's okay. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's not like amazing.
Oh, it's Medgar. Oh, so it's based on a real thing. It's based on the Medgar Evers thing. So we'll put a pin in Ghost of Mississippi being okay. The American President. Do we like The American President?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
North.
Elijah Wood.
Isn't that what Roger Ebert?
Yes.
I hated this movie. Yeah. A Few Good Men is good.
That's that one is for sure.
Misery is good.
Misery is good.
When Harry Met Sally is good.
Good.
The Princess Bride is good.
Good.
Stand By Me is good.
Good.
The Sure Thing I have not heard of, and Spinal Tap is good.
Good.
So he had a nice little run minus what's The Sure Thing 1985, the year after Spinal Tap.
Another John Cusack.
It's an 80s Cusack, so it's probably
a lot of Cusacks.
fine. But yeah,
I
had
bet you he got a lot of poontang.
are you kidding me? The most. Jesus Christ.
He was in every romantic comedy in the 80s.
So Reiner had a nice little mid 80s to mid 90s. After which point he can kind of fuck off.
But I didn't even know he made any of those movies.
Now you do. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
No. Stop it. More just slamming medicine.
I'm gonna take some more Dayquil. I want to get more high and more drowsy for this podcast. Because, we're not even halfway done the fucking requests.
Hey,
because we both have the attention span of a fucking 3-year-old.
We're on movie 3 of 11. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing amazing.
311, your favorite band.
Investigate 311. And that's not going to come up later, so...
True.
Okay, flipped. Let's just get to the fucking movie instead of doing Rob Reiner's history.
I mean, it's better than doing the
I
movie.
know, but we have to do it and move on.
I saw Anthony Edwards and got excited. He's the dad.
He's the dad.
So the premise
Mark
is...
Green from ER.
True. The premise is it's the 50s and there's...
It's the 60s, isn't it?
Maybe 60s.
Yeah, it's 60s.
Fine.
I paid
cares?
attention to this movie.
And there's a boy and a girl, and it is alternately told from each of their perspectives with an aggressive flip wipe
Yes.
every time it switches. And boy, the fact they did it more than once.
Yep.
It's a lot.
A boy and a girl, and the girl is kind of a creep.
Yeah, the
She's
girl's a
kind of
weird stalker.
She's kind of a sexual predator, but without the sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
a kissing predator.
Yeah. So,
Middle America or like Midwest.
Yeah.
Growing up, and she's very much in love with this little boy neighbor.
Yeah.
And they move into next door, and she across the street, and she very much wants to get his little tiny unerect penis.
Yeah, like very early on I wrote, "Oh, so this bitch is psychotic. I'm into it."
she kind of is though.
Yeah.
Like she really is like obsessed. She's like 7.
Yeah. And he has no interest.
Not even a little bit.
And she's just all over him for years. It's so weird. Also, the kids very much do not talk like they're in the 60s. They talk like they're in 2010.
It is 2010.
I'm pretty sure someone referenced...
Oh!
What are you doing?
Well, I was looking up the girl who played the kid, and
if she's hot now?
Then a trailer played, so thanks, IMDb. Yeah, she's kind of cute, I guess.
Then or now?
Both. Oh, I guess we do. I'm looking at the adult version of her, not the child version of her. Or like the teenage version of her, sorry, is what I should have said.
Right.
The younger version is born in 2000, so I'm in the clear.
Hey, you're great.
Nobody at me.
A lot of the pictures won't
Shut up.
be, but...
Shut up.
Okay.
This is the most recent picture of her. She's whatever.
She's... Yeah.
She looks like a 20-year-old girl.
Yeah. She's doing her thing. I'm sure she's living her best life. I'm sure she did lots of other major film roles besides this, right?
Sure. She's a...
Morgan Lilly as young Julie.
She was in X-Men. She was in one of the X-Men movies as young Mystique.
Young Raven in X-Men First Class.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the only other thing I remember her from.
An episode of Chicago Med.
Oh!
Wednesdays on NBC.
In the all Chicago slot.
Yes. And 8 episodes of Claws.
What?
Which is very disappointing. It's ethnic women with big nails.
Misleading.
And Niecy Nash in one of her...
9 television shows she has now?
She has a lot of shows, and she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, she did.
She did both of those things.
She's getting her own The Rookie spinoff.
She is.
Yeah.
Nice network TV knowledge, pal. Good job.
Now that I have cable again, I get to see all those.
What's it called?
The Rookie :
Something with blue?
Powder.
What? Yeah, Niecy. What are you...
I don't like that we keep going off on tangents on things that aren't fucking
because we don't really want to talk about...
I know! Because Chairman Meow made a bad fucking pick.
The Rookie : Feds.
Feds. She's a rookie fed.
There was a separate cop show called Rookie Blue.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
That was on in like the mid-2000s? Early 2000s?
Rookie Blue?
Rookie Blue?
No, much more recently.
Really?
Way more recently. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
Oh, yeah, you know what it was. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you. You're thinking...
2010 to 2016.
More recent than that. 2010, you were right.
2?
Let's find out. Rookie Blue, 2010 to 2015.
Oh, I was off by a year, Scott!
Pretty.
I was off by
fucking
1 year. Are you kidding
good.
me? And it had the girl who was the lead in Stick It.
Well, I have to check that now.
Whose name I can't remember, but I used to think she was really hot.
Is it
Peregrine?
Missy Peregrine.
Yeah.
She is hot.
I used to think she was super hot.
I like her. I like the way she looks. I guarantee it.
Is she local?
I'm sure she's local to something, yeah. I'm sure she's from...
I meant local to Vancouver.
I'm sure she's from somewhere.
Whatever.
Aren't we all local? And she is, in fact...
Aren't we all local?
From 2006's Stick It.
Bam!
And 31 episodes of Reaper.
Cool.
Raper. I won't.
I will not apologize for how much I like the movie Stick It.
I haven't seen it. Is it gymnastics?
It's gymnastics, and her head coach, Jeff Bridges. Really weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
They got Lebowski for it.
It's got a really good soundtrack. I believe there's some Electric Six on it.
Nice.
Not Gay Bar, which is very sad because that's their best song.
It is a good one.
I want to take you to a gay bar. I do enjoy the line, I've got something to stick in you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite part of that song.
I've got something to
put in you.
Put in you. I've got something to put in you. Good fun.
I remember owning several of their CDs.
That was after I owned CDs.
Yeah.
But I had and have lots of their songs. I have a, like, because I'm not a full albums guy.
Me neither.
I'm a single songs guy, but I have most of that album scattered throughout myself. Is the album called Fire?
Yeah, and I believe it is one of their songs was used as the entrance music for noted cool guy with cool takes, the Brian Kendrick, when he was Spanky.
Yes.
He came out to...
Ooh, what did he come out to? Brian Kendrick, Electric Six. Nuclear War?
Yeah, but what's the song called?
On the Dance
That's not the name of the song, though.
Danger. High Voltage.
High Voltage.
Yeah. Another good song.
Yeah. And a good song for a really cool guy to come out to.
I came out...
He is very cool, Scott.
Look, I'll be the first to tell you that Brian Kendrick is very cool.
Yeah, you came out to...
I came out to Electric Six once. I came out to Dance Commander by Electric Six.
That's a great song, too.
It is.
I like that song.
Yeah. It would be awesome if we could dance. Is the album Fire? I want to get it right. It is Fire, and I have 10 songs off the album, which has got to be pretty much the whole album. But I did not download the album. I downloaded them song by song because I liked each one. Yeah, oh man, what a fucking banger album.
Yeah.
I'm the Bomb is another great song. Gay Bar, Danger High Voltage, Dance Commander. Yeah, goddamn. She's White. Naked Pictures of Your Mother.
Yes. I forgot about Naked Pictures of Your Mother.
God damn. Damn, everyone go listen to Fire by Electric Six. What a great album.
Is this the Electric Six Appreciation Podcast?
This is the Electric Six Appreciation Hour. Enjoy. What the hell's going on Flipped?
Sorry. I'm saying Dance Commander.
It's a great song. Yeah, so it just goes along, switching between them, and like the boy has no which than the girl, and the girl's like, I sure like this boy.
I sure am getting in heat when I'm in my young age.
She's in estrus, so at a point I'm like, this movie feels like a troll. Like, what is the point of this movie?
Like, nothing of note happens for the first hour.
Yeah, and I wrote that after they had just had what felt like a half-hour conversation at the dinner table on chicken gender.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of this? And then for some reason, so the boy's grandfather, John Mahoney, in his final role, sorry about this being your final role, moves in with them. And
the good news is, at least neither one of his sons are gay.
At least neither of his sons are gay.
And there's no dog disrupting the set.
True, that they have to shoot. Did you know they shot Eddie when Fraser went off the air?
Yeah, like, sorry guys, show's canceled.
Bang! And for, like, nobody asked him to, but he decides to, like, bridge the gap between the boy and the girl. Like, he goes in, like, the girl's family is kind of poor.
A little bit.
Like, they rent their house, they don't own their house, and
they don't do the upkeep on the yard.
The landlord is supposed to, but the landlord sucks, and so they just have a dirt front yard.
And I was fully expecting this to make a turn of, like, now I see why this movie was recommended to us.
Is it something to do with my next note? I hope John Mahoney ends up fucking Julie.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Guess what doesn't happen? John Mahoney fucking Julie.
Guess what? It's almost as if this movie is wholesome and nice.
He's just a nice old man.
Bullshit. Worst movie ever picked for this podcast.
Bold statement. It is not the worst movie picked for this episode.
I mean, at least the other one has stuff to talk about.
It's got stuff, but I'm mad at it.
I'm mad at it too. But this has nothing to talk about other than the one scene that's coming up.
Yeah, so it comes up that the girl's dad has a differently abled brother. So at least people, we got to hear people say retard.
A bunch.
Yeah, the differently abled brother is played by the guy from Clerks 2,
Yep.
who they made throw up by
talking
Lord of the Rings. And I have discussed this, we discussed this in the car last week, actually.
Yep.
The guy has midget head.
He's got the features of a midget.
He is of average height.
Yeah.
But if you just showed me his head, I'd say, oh yeah, that's a midget.
Oh yeah, that's a little person. That's an LP.
But it's not. And I have been looking for what this condition is for the better part of my adult life and cannot find it.
Kevin Weissman.
Kevin Weissman. What is his deal? And he's not the only one. There's other people that sort of look like that. And I want to know if it's a thing, or if there's just a few people out there who sort of have midgety features. I would love to know, because I don't... Drew, don't think you can just Google Kevin Weissman medical condition or whatever. I have been up and down this fucking internet with 0 results.
It gave me the answer.
It gave you the answer?
No, it didn't.
Did
you know that he's in a band called Trainwreck with Kyle Gass of Tenacious D?
Did you know that... So stupid. Did you know that Kyle Gass is in a band called Tenacious D with Jack Black?
I did.
That's cool. I didn't know Kyle was cheating on Jack Black with a tall midget.
With a tall midget.
But yeah, someone figure out what that is.
Give us the answer.
If anything. Maybe it's nothing, but I feel like it's something.
It's something. Oh, he's got something going on.
He's got something going on. So they go to and part of the reason the family's poor is because the girl's father is paying so much money to keep him in a good institutional place. So they go to visit him on his birthday, and the daughter comes along for the first time. Like, has she not met her spaz uncle before?
I think when she was much
very young,
much younger.
So it's been a while.
Like, she doesn't really remember him that well.
So they go to get ice cream, and he drops his ice cream, and then has a full-on spaz attack.
Full-on retard spaz attack.
Flipping shit over, losing his mind, scrying, which is a portmanteau of screaming and crying. And and then we just cut to what has to be 3 minutes later, and they've left the ice cream shop, and it's like nothing has happened.
Nothing's happened.
And I would love the freedom of having a full-on MR freakout and then acting like nothing happened 5 minutes later.
I mean, you could.
I could, but I would have... I would have less friends.
I don't think that if you and I went to a marble slab right now...
Yeah.
We got our ice cream.
P.S. Marble Slab is worst cold stuff.
You dropped it on the floor. You had a freak out.
Yep.
I gave you my ice cream, and you were cool. And nobody's going to look at you and say, that guy's pretending to be retarded. That guy's a faker. He's a big fat phony.
I would hate to be called a phony.
Yeah.
So... so yeah, well, we can we can test it out.
I think we can try it. There's
a
marble slab on Denman.
When there's some tension at the boy. Anthony Edwards is the boy's father. When did he hit his daughter? Oh, because his daughter was going and hanging with the
greasers,
the twin older brothers of in the girl's family, and he's and they're like they're singing and like recording a demo and stuff, and
they're the Beach Boys.
And Anthony Edwards is like, well, they must be scumbags. They must be reprobates. How do you think they get the money to record that demo? Demos are expensive. They're clearly pushers.
Pushers.
Yeah.
They're pushing.
And then she says, "Dad, you're being a dick," and then he hits her in the face.
You're being a square.
Hits her right in the face. It was great.
Well, it was the 60s. You're allowed to hit your kids in the face as hard as you want.
Yeah.
And nobody would question it.
Not at all. And and it goes on. So yeah, the kids are, we cover them. Yeah, like age 7, because like 2 different actors.
Yep.
Play them. So they're like 7 and I don't know, 13.
Maybe a little older, maybe 14
maybe
or 15.
14. Yeah. So I just put a quote that Julie should have been thinking. This boy has literally never been nice to me once. Maybe I shouldn't have been fawning over him for like 7 years.
Yeah, but women are stupid and I don't respect them, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does eventually come around.
Mostly out of guilt.
Mostly out of guilt, but at least he realizes, like, okay, this girl's been really sweet to me my whole life.
Yeah.
And she's kind of grown a little bit of tits, so maybe I should be into her. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
Like, listen, if I grew up with a girl who I thought was, like, just annoying and, like, really a big pain in the ass,
yeah,
and we get to high school, and all of a sudden she's got, like, larger size B's.
Okay. I like that you're not greedy.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna go double D's. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if, like, you're going, like, nice sized B's, then I'm gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I'm the asshole. Maybe I'm the one that's really fucking this up. And then you get invested.
Yeah.
I feel like the 60s was a different... I guess that would have been 70s. But I think that's what it was. I think he realized that, like, if I want to get my dick greasy, now's my opportunity. I can just hit it and quit it, and we're good. That's the only takeaway I can get from this god-awful movie. Retard uncle, and hit it and quit it. And I'm feeling very high right now from the Dayquil, so...
I'm glad. I'm sure the bunch of caffeine is evening it out nicely.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I'm drinking Gatorade to... recharge my electrolytes.
Yeah, I think your electrolytes are up. I think that Gatorade's going to fix you right up.
Yeah, probably.
You'll be good.
That's what plants need.
Is what plants crave. I like that. So Anthony Edwards becomes like an increasingly angry man.
Yep.
Throughout the movie, like to the point that he's just beating his daughter by the end of it.
She deserves it.
There is zero redemption for him. Like one of the last scenes he's in is where he hits her.
Yeah.
There is never an apology. No. There's never anything. He's just a piece of shit. The end.
Yep.
And and that's like the whole thing. It's a strange, quiet little movie, and I don't know.
But it's not even good.
No. Let's be clear.
Other than the retard uncle freaking out in the ice cream shop, nothing is worth a damn.
And nothing really happens besides that. It's a strange one. Chairman Meow, you have other picks. I hope you do better.
I doubt it.
I hope you do better with the 2013 Steven Seagal movie you picked.
I doubt it. And DMX isn't even in it.
Then what's the point? What do you think about 1998's Small Soldiers from Zachary K?
Joe Dante, that's what I think.
Okay.
Dante rules. I love his work.
Yep.
I'd seen this movie a lot as a kid, but I had not seen it in a very long time. So, like, there was actually a lot of it that I did not remember.
Yeah.
Where are my notes? Show me my notes. So, I mean, literally my first note is just, within 5 minutes, you get fucking Dennis Leary, Jay Moores,
and David Cross.
It's
like away. Within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's the opening scene.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, there's like, the credits and everything. And
yeah.
But it is, it's the opening scene.
Yeah, I got all excited. I'm like, all these people are great.
Shit, this is great. Like, this whole cast is insane.
Yeah, we got all kinds of hits. And then we, so it's a toy company. It's a weird premise. It's basically like if Lockheed Martin bought Mattel.
Yeah.
Just like an arms dealer bought a toy company.
Yeah. So like Dennis Leary is like the new, I guess, like CEO or something of the company.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's essentially trying to talk to Jay Moore and David Cross, who are like the head designers.
The cool and not cool designers.
And not cool. And
you can guess
but
which
I like
one.
that
You're
Leary
right.
was kind of just doing his stand-up. Like his whole spiel in the conference room when he's talking to them about the, like, you know, the future of this and toys and whatever is literally just him doing his stand-up routine.
Yeah.
And it was like very funny. Like it was like very good Dennis Leary stand-up. It's like, I hope that it was just like go in there.
Oh, so by very good Dennis Leary stand-up, you mean very good Bill Hicks stand-up?
Yes. I hope,
got his ass.
I hope that it was just like go in there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Like I hope he got no
lot of
direction
improv.
and, like, yeah, like that would be really cool.
Yeah. David Cross and Jay Moore were brought in to see Dennis Leary by the secretary or whatever, Ms. Cagle, which I found to be a funny name. I'm not that familiar with the woman who played her, Alexandra Wilson. I guess she was on some Beverly Hills 902, episodes of Beverly Hills 90210. But
you weren't a big Beverly Hills 90210 guy?
Never watched it. Yeah, and I was right in the
wheelhouse because you were in your 30s.
Because I was in my 30s in 1990. But they do the thing with her. They do the 90s thing with her, where they were really good at making hot women in their 20s look like frumpy secretaries in their 40s. Yeah, like they did it with Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld. Yeah. They did it with Vicki Lewis on News Radio. Yeah. And they did it with Alexandra Wilson. I already forgot her name. On this. I don't know why that was a choice. I don't know why they're not allowed to be hot when they are. And it's actually insane how much older they make them. Because, like, remember, like, early Seinfeld when Julia Louis-Dreyfus looked like 50?
Yep.
And then by the end of Seinfeld, she was like a hot 25-year-old.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
It's very strange.
Yeah. So that was a fun thing they did. I was also thinking, like, Jay Moore's had a pretty good career, but imagine how much better it would have been with a better hairline.
Yeah.
If he had
he had a bad hairline when he was young.
Yeah. Like, no, he went early.
Yeah.
But if he had a beautiful head of hair up to now, like, he'd probably be president.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
President Jay Moore's getting nice.
You want to get nice?
So they pitch the new toys to Dennis Leary,
which are like these good guy
army command. Good guy.
They're like
alien monsters. They sort of look like kitty people. They're the main guy. They're various monsters, I guess.
But the idea is that they've come to here from their world. They want to learn everything about our planet, so that they can help themselves get home. And then there's these bad guy commando elites that are the ones that are like hunting them down, and that's the way it's pitched. But Dennis Leary does not like it like that.
Yeah,
he wants it to be that we, pro America and like the troops, and we're bringing them back from Iraq, and even though we haven't even gone to Afghanistan yet.
True. And yes, and then he also like wants like the toys to be like more technologically sophisticated. Yes. He's like, these toys are cool, but what if we created artificial intelligence? And then they do.
And then they fucking do.
So I guess the lesson is ask for more stuff, Dennis Leary.
Yep.
Because apparently they can just do whatever you want. Also, that they like 3D print it.
They 3D print them,
in 1998.
That's very cool.
Were we doing that?
I don't think so.
I don't think we were doing that.
Joe Dante created.
I think Joe Dante might be a genius.
3D printing. Yeah. The names of the Commando Elite are fucking awesome.
Okay, yeah,
the character names are like the toy names are fucking great. I got it in front of me. So like the main guy is Chip Hazard.
Yeah, which that led to a funny that must have been because I don't know what other Chip reference there would be, but someone made a "Hello, Mr. Chips" reference, which was funny because there's a movie called Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Anyway, maybe it wasn't that funny.
There was Kip Killigan, Butch Meat Hook.
Okay, Butch Meat Hook made me because
Dash Meat Hook. Is that what you were thinking?
No, but an excellent actor on both Ray Donovan and Law and Order: Organized Crime.
Nice.
No, Dash Meat Hook. I'm like, that is 90% one of those names they kept calling the muscle guy in that episode of Mystery Science Theater. I'm gonna try to, and which we basically used for a promo once, like, you know, big McLarge huge, and Dash Meat Hook. I'm like, that's got to be one of the actual names. I bet I can.
The other ones you got are Brick Bazooka, Nick Nitro, and Link Static.
Nice.
So originally, Joe Dante wanted the cast of Predator to voice those characters.
That makes sense.
Arnold as Chip Hazard, Shane Black as Kip Killigan, Carl Weathers as Butch Meathook.
Nice.
Jesse the Body Ventura as Brick Bazooka, and Sonny Landham as Nick Nitro, and Bill Duke as Link Static. But
I'm sad we didn't get Predator, but what we got was still awesome.
Well, the reason we didn't get this is because that would have cost a bajillion
lot of money.
dollars.
Jesse Ventura don't come cheap.
He does not.
He was going to be governor. He was going to be governor in a year. Maybe he was already governor.
Not to get too off topic here, but I did hear a very funny Predator-related thing, which was when they went to do their. Are you looking it up right now?
What?
You found it already?
I found the funny names.
Oh, okay. When they went to do their costumes fittings for Predator, they all did it at the same time, and when they measured for Jesse Ventura. His biceps were 1 inch larger than Arnold's.
Oh, shit.
But it was because Arnold went to the costumes designer and said, tell Jesse Ventura that his arms are 1 inch bigger than mine. And then when they were in production, they went to the gym and they said, let's do something. So they were working out, right? Yeah. And then they said, let's measure to see who's bigger. And Arnold was 2 inches bigger than Jesse Ventura.
Shit.
And apparently it just fucking crushed Jesse. Because this whole time he thought, I'm bigger than Mr. Olympia. I'm Mr. Olympia now.
Now I'm Prune Tracy.
But yeah, I'm just asking questions. But apparently he just crushed him because the whole time he thought he had bigger biceps than Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. fucking Olympia. And they get to the gym and Arnold's like, nope, not even close. Not even close. And Arnold did that because he liked to play pranks on people like that.
That's pretty funny.
People who always thought that they were like bigger than him or tougher than him or stronger than him, and he would do all these fucking pranks to get him. So
that's a good prank.
It's a really good prank.
Yeah, so I found a Reddit post for MST3K Space Mutiny and the many names of David Ryder. Slab Bulkhead, Butch Deadlift, Splint Chest Hair, Blast McHard Cheese, always a good one. Crunch Slam Chest. What else is good? Dirk Hardpeck, Stump Junkman, Rip Steakface, Buff Hardback, Slab Squat Thrust, Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
And Big McLarge Huge, which I just straight up stole for our promo.
Well,
so that's where I could have sworn Dash Meat Hook. Yeah. Was from that. It just sounds exactly like it, but isn't from it. So good for not stealing. Also, would the MST3K have happened by 98? Probably, actually.
Can we get back to this now, please?
I insist.
Okay, so...
this is getting back to it. It's my next note. It's just on track with both inventing...
Huh?
It's on track with inventing artificial intelligence and 3D printing. Could you also invent a forever battery for it? So we never need to replace the battery. I'm like, yep, sure, done.
Yeah,
what else do you need?
You didn't know that existed already?
Yeah, no further questions.
My next, so Dennis Leary wants to switch it around so that the Gorgonites are the bad guys and the soldiers are the good guys.
Yeah.
Which David Cross is very much against because he's like, that's not the point of these.
Yeah.
The point is that these creatures want knowledge. They're not here to destroy, and Dennis Leary wants nothing to do with it.
That sounds gay.
And Jay Moore is very much a butt kisser, so he's all for it.
Yeah.
So that's how they create them. And they're going to distribute them. And then we get to meet the main kid, and I just wrote...
With a great 90s middle part.
Yes.
A real Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
His name is Gregory Smith, And I wrote, hey, remember when this wiener kid was a thing? He was one of those like late 90s, early 2000s
in
kids
lots of
who
stuff.
was in like everything.
Was he a spy kid?
He was in every season of the CW well, I guess it would have been UPN. Everwood.
Nice.
He was one of the sons in The Patriot.
Perfect.
More recent. Oh! Full fucking circle, Scott.
He a girl
He's
now?
In every goddamn episode of Rookie Blue.
We did it!
He's
the show.
He's one of the
8 more movies. No, thank you.
He's one of the main actors of Rookie Blue.
Holy shit!
4 episodes.
That's good numbers. I'm gonna ask him for a loan.
Full fucking circle.
He's got that Rookie Blue money.
Big bucks. The big bucks.
No whammies.
No. The whammies. He's new in town. He's gay.
He has AIDS.
His family just moved to town because he was disruptive punk at his old school.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
kept getting expelled.
His dad owns a toy store.
Yep.
So, and his dad owns a toy store, but then also has to go on all of these like weird.
Where's Dad going?
Oh, he's going to a trade show in Texas. For toys, but also his dad refuses to sell like mainstream like violent toys.
Yeah, he's like a toy hipster.
So he's like, oh, I only sell like wooden trains and this like wooden boat that I've crafted in the middle of the store. So like, what trade shows are you going to?
Trade shows that will introduce you to a bunch of products you won't sell.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
His father is played by the good Kevin Dunn.
I wrote Kevin Dunn, ! The good one, !
He was on last episode too.
He was on last episode.
And he's in another movie in this episode. This is the Kevin Dunn episode.
Kevin Dunn can't stop winning.
I think there's somebody else who's in 2 movies in this. Oh no, it's the Kevin Dunn and it's also the Ernie Borgnine because he was last episode and this episode.
Ah, yes.
So
I like that you call him Ernie.
Well, he's my boy. I'm too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
I recognize him as Sergeant Fatso Jetsam from Here to Eternity. From Here to Eternity. That's awkward.
So the kid is sort of like in charge of the store.
Yeah.
Because why not?
His dad's irresponsible.
Yeah, like why not? Because without him running the store, they would be
closed.
Losing money constantly, even though they're already losing money constantly.
I think Dad's bad at business.
The whole concept of moving to a new town, opening a business, and then not running the business seems very irresponsible for an adult man.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that, like, you gave a 9-year-old $10 million, and they're like, what do you want to do? I want to open a toy store. Like, who's gonna run the toy store? Nobody, it's my toy store.
I like that it's a mentally deficient 9-year-old, too.
I mean, all children are retarded to me.
True. All children... All children are boned.
Oh, Scott, that's a Freudian slip.
I don't even know if I should continue with this line.
Scott's talking about kids.
All children are boned.
Bone comes into his mind.
All children are born both. See, that's what I was doing. Born and both became bone.
Sure.
I can talk my way out of this. No jury will convict me.
All right.
Try as you might.
Well, I mean, if it's
better men than you have tried.
Scott, if it's a jury of your own peers, then you're going to be fine.
That's true. Pedophiles should only get convicted by other pedophiles. You said a jury of my peers.
Pedophile
there are no pedophiles on this jury.
Excuse me. Is anybody here a pedophile? Would you like to be a part of a jury? I like a full-time job as a pedophile
juror. I think that was a through line in 30 Rock.
And like, what if you're a juror and the guy gets up there and you're a worse pedophile? Do you have to like trade spots?
That's a good question.
They're like,
maybe it all of a sudden becomes your trial.
Like, who here's only done things on the internet? Okay.
Yeah.
How many people have driven across state lines?
Drew, how often do you find yourself driving across straight lines?
A lot.
Okay.
Who here's driven across state lines to meet up with a child? Sir, come on down. This is like The Price is Right.
Who killed her whole family? Who keeps it over 14? You're okay.
You're fine.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Oh yeah, all kids are born both retarded and gay. And then it's your
job as
choice.
a parent.
No, it's the child's choice as they age to decide
which
to
one?
either
No?
You gotta be one. You gotta pick.
Listen, son. Listen. When you get older, you're gonna have to choose. Do you want to keep being retarded or do you want to keep being gay?
I was gonna say you can choose to stay or not stay, one or both or none, but I like your way better. So
what you're saying is that every single child is either gay or retarded.
no, every single child is gay and retarded. Then as they age and reach maturity,
okay, so
they can
every
choose.
adult is either gay or retarded.
As per your new reasoning, yes, which I am inclined to agree with.
Okay. Well,
everyone listening right now, which are you?
Which are you? Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Spoiler: gay. You're so many of you are gay. It's ridiculous.
So many of you. You don't even know how gay you are. Back to Small Soldiers.
Yep.
So the kid tricks his delivery guy into loaning him a set of these brand new figures while his dad's out of town, so that he can sell them and make the money
that his dad should be making.
By working in the store he owns.
Correct.
And his dad will never know about it. So he gets a full set of the Gorgonites and the Commando Elites.
Yeah, and the delivery guy who's commenting on fucking Blackwater or whatever buying Mattel, he was partly very prescient. He said the whole world's going to be owned by one giant corporation, which is definitely
I made that note.
The direction it's going.
One day everything is going to be owned by one giant company. Joe Dante, 1998.
But the second part of what he said was the one thing he could have possibly missed on. He said, so one thing's going to be owned by one giant corporation. Nailed it. No more microbreweries. You blew it. Yeah. The one thing.
Yep.
Any other
reference of
any other business, you'd have been right.
Microbreweries lived.
Yeah. Who could have seen hipsters coming?
I don't know.
In 98.
I guess not Joe Dante.
Not Joe Dante.
I mean, I don't know if he was actually the writer, but
who's to say?
I mean, I could look, but
nah.
Whatever. I was gonna look up, but I don't want to look up now because I feel like this is going way too long.
How about don't look up?
Nah, that was okay. Dick Miller is the name of the driver, who people will know. He's kind of like Mr. Joe Dante. Because like every Joe Dante movie he's done, I think he has at least some kind of role in.
Oh, that's his deal?
Yeah, like he's a known actor for a long time. But he's in I don't know, throw out some stuff.
Gremlins.
The Terminator, he did that, right? The Burbs, Gremlins, other stuff. The last movie he did was 2019's Hanukkah.
Just called Hanukkah. All right.
So there's a girl in town who has a wiener of a little brother, and she's played by Kirsten Dunst, who, might I add, looked pretty good in this movie.
Oh, I don't think she's that old in this movie. I'm gonna fact check that.
I think she aged out, and I don't like it. Like, I don't think she's that attractive now. Do you?
Now, no.
I think she's aged bad.
She had a moment in the 2000s,
but she's older than both of us, right?
She was born in the...
It should say right there. Oh.
April 30th, 1982. She's years older. She's literally year older than me.
There you go. Too old for me.
So,
I don't date people in their 40s, Scott.
1998, she was 16. Maybe hadn't turned 16 yet when this was...
No, she's 16. Don't try and throw me under the bus.
The Kirsten Dunst you are seeing in this movie is 15 years old.
16 and legal.
She's 15.
Well, at the time, I was 12, so it's fine.
That's true.
12-year-old me is really into 15-year-old Kirsten Dunst.
Here's what I think about 15-year-old Kirsten
But here's the thing,
Dunst.
Scott, you have to be into her because the other you is dating her.
I'm married to her, I believe.
Are they married?
I think so.
I don't know if they're married. I think you're lying.
Maybe they're common law.
It just says spouse.
Well, that
but
means...
they do have 2 children.
spouse means married,
Not
right?
necessarily.
Yes.
Common law. In the eyes of the law.
In the eyes of the Lord?
No. The Lord's out of this one. No more lording over this one. I like that as a child actress, she turned out pretty normal. Like, she's not a weirdo.
She's not crazy. I don't think she's
There's a lot
crazy.
of kid actors who are weirdos.
Yeah, she might have been the one that wasn't molested.
She's the one that got away.
She's the one that got away.
That Dan Schneider wished he could have got.
His white whale.
His white whale.
Which is ironic because she's married to a white whale.
You just call yourself a white whale?
I can do self-deprecating.
He's bigger than you.
He is bigger than me.
He's chonkier.
He, I think he's like getting bigger too.
Yeah, maybe it's for a role. You don't know.
For a role he's been preparing for the last 7 years.
Yeah, he is getting chonkier though. You're right.
Yeah. Jesse Plemons is fat as shit.
Jesse Plemons is fat as shit.
Yeah. I can't see teenage Kirsten Dunst without thinking of Jumanji. That's what furry brain just immediately I see that age-ish Kirsten Dunst. I think Kirsten Dunst, Jumanji, Monkey TF. That's
reasonable.
Yeah, that's all that goes on in my head.
Did you know that Burger King agreed to market the film with its kids meals before it was rated PG-13? But then when the film was released soon after, Oregon teenager Kip Kinkle killed his parents.
Oh no!
Then went on a shooting rampage at Thurston High School in Springfield, Oregon, killing 2 students and wounding 25. So the Kip Killigan action figure was not distributed in Oregon.
Oh no!
Because he had the same first name as the shooter.
And a really cool last name that probably would evoke thoughts of the shooter.
Probably.
That's it. So no one in Oregon got the full set.
Nope.
Should we find one? Go to Oregon. Sell it, make $1 million.
Probably. There's somebody in Oregon who has that whole set, except for him.
Yeah.
Pow.
We haven't talked about Phil Hartman
Where
yet.
are we at? Okay, anyway, so Kirsten Dunst's father is Phil Hartman.
Yep.
Which I just wrote in all capital letters.
Yep.
Fucking Phil Hartman. This cast rules.
It is such a good cast. And whatever. 2 lines in, and I love Phil Hartman, even though he's a bad guy.
Here's the note that here's a piece of trivia. The murder of Phil Hartman before the premiere caused some minor changes before release, which included not showing him on any printout advertisement cards. In fact, it changed all advertisement, so almost no human characters were used on them, or and also having his character not appear in any TV spots. I guess they felt that the fact that he had just been brutally murdered by his wife,
bitch wife,
they were like, maybe we shouldn't show him.
Yeah. This was his last movie.
Yeah. So as he gets the toys, it is revealed that once activated, they are fully sentient, completely aware of their surroundings. So he awakens Archer, who is the head of the Gorgonites, and Buck Zumhofe, who's the leader of the Commando Elites. And so the toys have these microchips in them that were ordered by Jay Moore using David Cross's login. What a jerk. Because he couldn't remember his password. I thought that scene was pretty funny.
Yep.
They gave them separate passwords. They're like, do not forget the passwords because they are exclusive to you.
Immediately forgets.
David Cross immediately says his out loud.
Yeah.
And then Jay Moore forgets his, so he uses David Cross's, and he orders these chips from the military, so that they can be input into the toys to give them because Dennis, like he had said, he wants them to be fully interactive. Like he wants them to be the greatest toys on the market, so they'll make millions of dollars, and he has full access to every military capability.
Yeah.
So They awaken Archer, and he sort of begins to interact with the kid. Then when he leaves the room...
also makes a kitty friend.
He does make a kitty friend.
Yep.
When he leaves the room, bad guy Chip Hazard comes to life, and they begin to have their little showdown.
War.
Chip Hazard is voiced by Tommy Lee Jones, who has an amazing voice, but I really felt like Tommy Lee was just doing like, here's the line, read it. Next one. Here's the line, read it. Next one. Here's the line, read it. Yeah. Next one. Like I didn't feel at all like he was actually trying to act.
He wasn't 100%.
I feel like he had the script in front of him. Yeah. He said he walked in the room, said,
he read his lines.
I will do 2 takes. You will use 1 of 2, and I am out of the room. And then he did that.
Yeah.
However, Archer is voiced by friend of the show. And by friend of the show, I mean because we already did several of his movies.
Uh-oh. You got it.
Frank Langella.
There it is.
Sorry, I don't know why I spaced on that. And I thought Frank was really good. I thought Frank was committed. I thought Frank was there to do the movie. So yeah, when they reveal that, so they do reveal that the kid goes home, and then when the toys awake, all of the Commando Elite wake up and try to kill the Gorgonites.
Yeah.
The Commando Elite are voiced by all cast members of the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which is fucking great. They are voiced by
Tommy Lee Jones, Frank Langella, Ernie Borgnine,
Jim Brown.
Domestic abuser Jim Brown.
159-0 in domestic bare knuckle squabbles.
Laura Dern's dad.
Bruce Dern, who again, 2 movies this podcast.
Yes.
This is weird.
Yeah. What are you guys doing?
George Kennedy.
Yep.
Clint Walker.
And I think that's all of them.
And then the Gorgonites are voiced by members of Spinal Tap.
Which we also...
Holy shit!
What the fuck is going on?
Harry Shearer, Michael McKean.
Christopher
Guest.
Yep.
And I believe the other one is voiced by... Well, the noises are voiced by Jim Cummings, not that one, the other one.
The voice guy.
And
Winnie the Pooh.
And then the Gwendy dolls...
are I'm learning right now.
By Sarah Michelle Gellar and Christina Ricci.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fun voice cast.
Very fun voice cast. And like, especially because some of them, like, I mean, Ernest Borgnine has a very recognizable voice and a very good voice. Mm-hmm. Bruce Dern also, like, a very cool sounding voice. So great choices by Joe Dante. I mean, sure, you didn't get the Predator people, but you got the Dirty Dozen. That's pretty good.
You got a pretty great replacement. Sorry, I got distracted because
Wendy Shaw,
Phil Hartman's wife, is
in the movie?
Is the voice of Francine Smith on American Dad. Wendy Shaw,
the one that killed him.
No, Linda Hartman is not the voice of Francine on American Dad.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm like, I saw the name. I'm like, really? I know the name Wendy Shaw.
Yeah.
So when the kids are telling Kevin Dunn and wife about these new developments, where these toys are sentient, trying to kill each other and us, and I think it's Kevin Dunn who responds with, "Are you on crank?"
Crank,
which is a funny thing to ask your kid.
He does. Yeah, it does. There's a very good scene where Chip Hazard is giving the speech from Patton in front of a puzzle American flag, which I thought was very funny.
Yep, that was good.
One thing that just was terrible was like there was so much bad fucking CGI in this movie.
There is definitely some 1998 CGI. There were some things that looked pretty good for 98, and then other things that looked good for no time period.
Well, like, and the thing is, like, the animatronics was amazing.
Yeah,
like the actual figures.
Yeah.
Looked great.
They look great, yeah.
But then as soon as they needed to do anything outside of the
big
norm,
movement
like the
stuff.
Getting dragged behind the bicycle was
Ooh,
really
yeah.
terrible.
That was tough.
Or, just like everything that they had to do that was outside the normal movement of a figure looked horrible.
Yeah.
Like some of the worst on-screen CGI I've ever seen. Archer is convinced that all of the Gorgonites have been killed because when they come back to the store, everything's been destroyed.
Yeah.
All the boxes are ripped open, so they have to panic and clean up the store. But then when they go back to the house and he thinks he hears them, he gets attacked by the Commando Elite. And I just wrote, interesting. A bunch of white soldiers holding down somebody with brown skin. Where has that happened before?
I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Gitmo, baby.
Yeah.
Don't
close it.
Don't close it.
Never close
Keep it open.
Yeah.
Keep it open. Also, isn't it crazy that they have one of their biggest military facilities in Cuba? Isn't that weird?
Who they've been mad at for 70 years.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. What else did I write down as notes?
I think that's all my notes.
There was something about slam fisting, and I just wrote, I've done some slam fisting in my life.
I assume that's just one of the, that's like almost one of the soldiers' names.
But I did make the note that if you're going to do some slam fisting, make sure you make a duck first.
Yeah, don't just punch at
Duck, then fist.
Yeah.
There was
unless you're a pro.
The Gorgonites were turns out they were alive the whole time and hiding.
Yes.
They were watching Rocky Maivia versus Ahmed Johnson.
Yes, they
were. They were talking about it looks so real. Mm-hmm. That was pretty funny.
That was good.
Then so the whole idea is that the Commando Elite are trying to kill the Gorgonites.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the movie.
And will kill the human beings who get in their way also.
Yes, because they are trained killing machines with...
Is their prime directive.
With military-grade computer chips in their brains.
Yeah.
So, which one ends up getting killed? Nick Nitro? Nick Nitro gets ripped in half? Or
yeah, someone gets ripped in half.
And so they have a very a comical funeral for him where they put him in a body bag. And then they sneak into the Phil Hartman family house.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and kill Archer because they know where he is. He's hot because he hid out in the kid's bag. When they get to the house and then they break into Kirsten Dunst's room, and she's got a bunch of like these Wendy dolls, which are like knockoff Barbies. And when they get in the room and they see all of them, whichever character is voiced by Ernie Borgnine,
they do what most soldiers would do and start raping.
Yeah, he stops them and says, "Bombshells, sir, fully posable." And I was like, yeah, you get some.
you get some, Ernie.
Go show those infidels what you got. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it kind of, devolves into just like your typical 90s like kid action movie where there's like traps and explosions and they end up like wrecking a house and wrecking the car, and the parents figure out like, oh my god, the kids weren't lying the whole time. Like all these toys are alive. And the only other thing I wrote was that there was like a lot of really creative use of household items to build like weapons. They're like vehicle things that the Commando Elite build that have just like all of these things that they've put together in the garage, like looked really cool. The only thing I didn't think I thought was kind of bad-ish was one of the weapons was like a gun that shoots those corn cob things that you can put on the end of corn to hold them to eat.
Yes.
And he gets like 5 of them shot in his leg.
Yeah.
But then completely no-sells it after he takes them out. Like, they're like, they're like pretty long.
Yeah.
And they're in his thigh.
They would suck.
And calf. He pulls them out and then just gets up and runs away.
Yeah. No, that would be awful.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. It stings a little.
Yeah.
And then
good.
Goes away. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm done. I'm cool. So they kind of learn that, after Dennis Leary, David Cross, and Jay Moore have discovered like what's going on because the kid phoned and complained that they were like doing all this bad stuff and they didn't really believe them, and they come.
Is it possible anyone put any, I don't know, military grade microchips in these?
I would say probably not, but you might want to check the records. That the only way to stop them fully is by like detonating a nuclear device, which of course they can do. But then they decide that
obviously
just as powerful as a nuclear device is
the power of prayer.
Is power of prayer. So they get on their hands and knees and they blow Jesus. Is to just like power overload the generators so that they put out like an EM pulse.
Yeah, basically.
And just like fry the microchips. And the only way to do that is that because Phil Hartman is like Mr. Technology.
Yeah.
So he's got all this stuff in the house, and they just kind of like wire everything up so that it can fry them.
Yeah.
And then they eliminate the Commando Elite, and they think they're like, oh no, the Gorgonites are gone too. We killed them. But then like they hit underneath a fallen over satellite, and like I don't know if that's real, but I guess it in the world of small soldiers, it works.
Yeah.
And then they all get on a nice little boat, and the boat that was in the toy store, like the big ship.
Yes.
And they just like put it in a river and let the toy Gorgonites like float off into the distance to find where they're from.
Yeah.
And P.S. that movie filmed in Vancouver.
Oh, nice. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for them.
So
that was Joe Dante's.
Joe Dante.
Joe Dante's.
So we're just a scooch over 3 hours, so we can probably call this part 1, and then pray to God that part 2 is shorter.
Well, let's not do a bunch of fucking preambles, Scott.
Well, no promises.
I won't promise anything either.
But we'll see you tomorrow, and subscribing members. There's got to be a better way to describe that, but subs. Hey, subs. You might get it even earlier. So play your cards right, and maybe Daddy will treat you.